All right, good morning. Um, let's just set the bar pretty low for this morning, if that's okay with all of you. Good morning. Hi, antisocial butterfly. Good morning. Mel Mac. Good morning. What's up, girlfriend? Cheech. Cheech, I hope you were watching last night. Good morning. Miss Lily. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Let's give this a second to make sure it goes everywhere. Aiden needs a check. Good morning. We're good. Um, Good morning. Let's give this a second to get going, shall we? Let me check all of the things. Um, Set the bar very low. I have no voice because I was up late last night. I'm exhausted. I have no face on. I could not put it, I could not. I actually think I have last night's mascara on. I didn't do I just used a white, George's wipes last night to wipe my face. And then I like rolled into bed and then checked a couple of things. I didn't fall asleep until like it was 3:15, something like that. So, okay, give me one sec. Let me just check this is going everywhere first. Let me do that and then we can talk. Is everybody okay? Check on your friends. Okay, we're good here. And you can hear me, I'm assuming. Otherwise, I would hear muted, muted, muted. And I think we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're everywhere. Okay. Okay. All right. Hi. Let's try to work through this, shall we? Good morning. So, today's going to be a little bit of a weird day. We're going to start off here and we're going to talk about yesterday. Not because of its content, but because this is something that I think matters to all of you. If you're one of my followers, you're probably one of Turtle Boy's followers, correct? So, if something happened with him, then we can talk about it. It's not exploiting it for content. It's not a grift. Aiden is a friend of mine, and so I'm not going to do a show where I am like vulnerable. I talk about things that are in my life and leave out like the big thing. And I think it's also like very appropriate to like talk about it amongst ourselves. Um, and then we're going to do this for a little bit and then we're going to go out into the wilderness together. We're going to go on a mission for a couple things. We're also dealing with par for the course here. Sometime yesterday, our dryer stopped working. So I don't know if Jeff is pulling that apart right now, but in the meantime, um, we had laundry that needed to be done because it's the weekend and we very rarely do it during the week. But so like Jeff and Jack went to go bring clothes we washed last night. We have a laundromat like literally right across from the Dunkin' where I go every day. And so they're doing that, gonna fix the dryer. And then um so we're gonna do this and then we're gonna go out into the real world and run a couple of errands together. Um Before we talk about anything last night, a couple of things. Good morning. Good morning. We're gonna talk about Mike Crawford too. That's long overdue. Long overdue. I sent Jack to go get me a Berry Burst Energy from Dunkin', and once that hits my system, we're gonna be good. Um, Before we start, this is my bestie. I'm my bestie. All right, so a couple things not related to any of this. So let's talk a little bit about Jess Machado season 2 and all of the stuff that's going on. And so we started the show 3.5 months ago, right? So we did full October, full September, and I think full August. And then we're like almost done with November. And this has been an opportunity for me to pause my writing, investigative, and all this stuff, and build a YouTube community where I can have a platform to share work or whatever. That is the goal that has been mapped out, and it is going swimmingly, quite frankly. It's going very well. Um, the main thing here is I hit benchmarks with YouTube where I was able to be monetized. I s- exceeded my goal of like 1,000 followers. We're close to 8,000 followers. I did have a long goal of 10,000 by the first of the year. I don't think we're going to get that, but I'm very happy with this. But more than anything, without talking too much about the taboo subjects of money and stuff, I am monetized and I get paid with ad revenue. And so I get paid money by YouTube, and I'll explain this in case people don't get it, but I select ads for my replays and I get money for that. And it's a very novel idea for me that I get paid just to talk from YouTube and advertisers. And every month that I've been doing this, that number has grown. And now I can see a little bit more because I have data, which I love statistics and data. I have data and statistics that show me what works and what doesn't work. Okay. And there's absolutely no denying it that freaking Bunny After Dark is like a cash cow. And it just, people watch it, a lot of it. That is not what my intention was when I started off doing this show. We were looking at a Saturday show where we would talk about kind of current events. We would bring in guests. We would talk about things I wrote about or stories that I broke. And then because there was this slut shaming shit going on about Bunny After Dark, I was like, yeah, okay, then we're bringing back Bunny After Dark. Let's go. And then turns out all of the besties were like, we want to be bunnies too. And now there is just like this, like, I wouldn't say phenomenon, but Bunny After Dark has turned into like what people want to watch, and they watch on replay and they never miss. And Bunny After Dark gets all the views. And so we have to really pause and take a look at that. And so the Saturday show, I don't spend as much time developing it or working on it because the Wednesday show is what people really feel happiest with and comfortable with and generous with and watch again. And the views are there. And so you watch all of them. I love you. Thank you. Um, so, it's not like the shows are my children and I'm like ignoring my firstborn. It's just, these are products, personal products, and I can see what's working and what's not working. With that being said, this show has become less formal. I'm spending less time working on it because, uh, Bunny After Dark is where I'm spending my time and my creativity. That's also why there aren't advertisers for this. Although Amy from Silva Funeral Home is continuing to support all my platforms. So Substack, all of these shows. Amy is Funeral Lady in the comments. She is amazing. And as a friend, she wanted to continue to support me. And I was on board with that. But I didn't do advertisers for Jess Machado's show season 2 for a reason, because I already saw what was happening with Bunny After Dark. So this is like an ever-changing thing, but I feel like I want to share it with you guys so you kind of know where we're at. And also like the political show that we were going to be starting, that came at a time where, okay, so we were going to start this political show on a Monday. And then literally that day, we had Keela Churchill, my state committee woman within the Massachusetts GOP, pushing out videos of me that were basically meant to slut shame me, make me look like some sort of sexual deviant. And then it was sent absolutely everywhere. Everybody got it. Political people, business professionals, family members, the lady at Dunkin' Donuts, everybody saw it. And then I lost my studio. And so if you remember one of the streams I did in the morning, I was just like, I am ready to just kind of break away from politics so I can do my own thing. I'm not saying that was premature, but I definitely didn't want to have anything to do with politics or Mass GOP politics, as someone within my party was like raking me, right, and destroying me. However, politics is a huge part of my life, and I am still extremely passionate about like what is happening in this state. And so I need to figure this out. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I want to go all in. I don't know if I want to just reject the whole system and just move away. I'm not really sure. I have to figure this out. So in the meantime, that Monday show is on indefinite hiatus from starting. I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know. I'm going to tell you something. I was all out. I was like, we're tapping out of this because hey, Mass GOP, you have somebody who is associated with your party, who is an elected official, who is a state committee woman. She is a voting member of your state committee where she's making decisions for the party. She's voting on things. And you can disagree with other Republicans. That's fine. You cannot like them. This is a concerted effort to destroy me, destroy my career, destroy my reputation, all at the hands of somebody who is considered a leader in the party. And so where is the Mass GOP on that? And that is really, like, to be very honest, like, that was my problem here. Like, is anybody going to step up? Is anybody going to say something? Is anybody going to be like, hey, Kayla, you might want to knock it the fuck off, right? But nobody did. Now, did people message me and call me and offer well wishes? Sure. Mass GOP Chairwoman Amy Carnevale messaged me and she was like, you're strong, you can handle this. And I appreciate that. But also, feel like we maybe should have done something else, a little extra. I want to give a shout out to Julie Hall. She's a former veteran who she ran for Congress, I believe. And Hall messaged me, called me, actually. She called me. And she wanted to talk to me a little bit about like what was happening. And she offered her support. She also reached out because she is a state committee woman. She serves with Kayla Churchill. She reached out to the attorney that the Mass GOP has. And she gave me his information and said, listen, we're not sure if there's anything that he can do for you, but here's his information. I've talked to him about you. Go ahead and reach out to him and see if he can help, which I greatly appreciated. I'm not asking people to come up and fight my battles for me, but there's some problem here in the Mass GOP. And that started to make me feel like I was ready to just like go off and like, I don't know, if somebody wants to start a third party, here we go. Like, I'm great. I'm going to pause for a second and we're going to go into a live here and we're going to see if there's somebody here that needs to get booted. So who do we have? Come on in.
Would you get buried?
Uh,
I think that was yours.
yes. Yes. Say hi to everybody, Jack.
Hi, everyone. Nothing.
He's not coming on, Jack.
Quincy.
Dog's out. Hi, Quincy. We're having a morning. Make sure your sister's up for me. Quincy, go ahead. Go see Jack.
Quincy. You know you're not supposed to.
Thank you, Jack. I don't know. Who do I need to block? Give me a name. Who do I need to block? Let's see. T Boner. Oh, Jesus Christ. Please be a little bit more. Oh, here it is. All right, I removed that person. I don't really like doing this. I don't have the time. Okay, I removed T-Bone. There's that. I don't really care about that, but I can see people are getting distracted. So hold on. Thank God. So so back to where we were at. I'm not sure where I'm at. I can tell you, like, mentally I was like disconnecting, and then I saw a couple posts from Mike Keneally and I was getting fired up again, and I was like, man, I don't want to miss this. Man, I want to be a part of this. Man, I want to help. And so I'm just not sure how I feel. Every show that I have is personal. Every show I have is a connection. And so the political show is on a hiatus from starting right now, and that's it. And I don't care if people think that I'm disappointing people here. That's where we're at. Okay, so there's that. We're doing these Monday through Friday 24 on 24s, and it's turning into like a thing now where we all like we start our day. As long as there's school, I'm doing it. I recognize that I got a message from someone and was just like, you're, copying Aiden with this bus stop live or whatever. Not the case. I just really love 24 and 24, and I love doing the chat, and I just like starting my day with that, and it feels really lonely if I don't do it. Christopher Silva, you want to watch, but it's being very wanky. Based on your interview with me, it's most likely your own internet connection, sir. So that's where we're at. With that being said, this show isn't formal. We don't have an agenda. We don't have a schedule. We don't have a guest. We don't have anything that we're talking about. Um, you'll only be disappointed if it never happens. Good morning, Ben. It will happen. We'll probably start it before I think we're going to start it. Things are settling in nicely. Can you guys hear the dog barking? The mailman is right there. Oh, I have an unboxing. Something came. I'll send one of the kids down to get it. I just love starting my day with you guys, and it's great. And I like the vent sesh, and it's good. So there's that. Okay, so that's just some basics about the show, about where we're at, the functionality of what we're doing. And Bunny After Dark is going to continue to be a banger. It's so fun. So fun. It's so great when you don't have to worry about anything. It's like you want to make fun of me for old episodes of Bunny After Dark. Okay, we'll just create new ones. Welcome. Before last night, last night while I was waiting for Aiden's show, I came into Julia's room and I started kind of like organizing some stuff here that is going to get picked up hopefully this weekend. And this room is getting better, so we might have our own space set up sooner than we think. Okay, so with that being said, I think there's an opportunity to share this on Facebook. Oh my God, I got a notification overnight from Facebook. They took down my post with the bingo card and said it violated rules or whatever. Facebook is so ridiculous at this point. I'm a communist who doesn't believe in free speech. Sure. I don't believe in free speech. I'm friends with Aiden Carney, who wrote an article about me because I believe so much in free speech. Anyway, if you could share this, that would be great. If you feel the need to support, Venmo and PayPal is there. You can also do super chats. We will read those at the end or maybe in between or whatever. I have options now so I can see things. I think it was because of the swear word. Jeff is in a very grouchy mood this morning. Very grouchy. As you can imagine, anything that is going to what's happening here? Yeah, does that work a little bit? Anything that is going to infringe on him having like a regular Saturday, and the washing clothes situation has turned into drama, because I'm working right now, technically. And so I have to do this. So Jeffrey, please pack the clothes in the car and go to the place over there, and I will give you the money and just go and do it. And he's very angry. There are doors slamming. Cation Jeff is winding down. You would think that it wouldn't because we still got today and tomorrow too. But the Eagles lost yesterday. So there's that. He lost like a parlay that he has. So he's angry about that. He's angry about the dryer. So he's got to try to fix it. And so we're just going to let him like wake up slowly, right? He's never in a bad mode. East Coast thrifter. Sure. So we're just going to let him do that. We're going to talk about last night's stream with Aiden. And then we're going to feel Jeff out. We're going to ask him if he's okay. Can we get to the good stuff, please? And thank you. Yes, Lori. Thank you so much, Lori. But yes, give me 1 second. We're going to ease into him, and then we're going to hold on. Let's go to this. Let's start with this. Good morning, bestie. How does Turtle Boy know that Swamp Bag got invited by Karen to the civil trial? Love your face. Meredith told him. This isn't working for me. Meredith told him. All right, we can't. whatever. Just we should blank screen this. Um, and then Lori sends $5 and she says, "Hi, can we get to the good stuff, please? And thank you." What do you mean? Me talking about me, myself, my house? That's not good stuff. You guys ready to dive into this? Okay. I will answer your questions. And you don't need to super chat them, although that is always lovely. But if you have questions about things last night, let's do this. Okay. So first and foremost, do you believe me now, everybody? Do you get it? Okay. Um, the only downside to last night is that I thought that this should have happened a long time ago. So if you are living under a rock, last night Aiden Carney did a Facebook, I mean a live stream, went on over 5 hours, and he essentially was like, "Listen, I want to clear the air about this situation with my ex-girlfriend because it is now getting to the point where things are getting said. I need to put the record straight. I need to fill in some backstory. I need to talk to you all and share my truth." And I've got to give him credit. He put everything out there, including the stuff that made him look not so great, I think, to some people. I personally, you know how I feel. Tell us everything. Tell us your worst, tell us your best. It makes us like feel like I don't know. I enjoy being authentic. Only the haters will hate when you're authentic because they're going to take your bad stuff and they're going to exploit it. I was all on board with this. So I don't know if there's anything that he said last night that I didn't already know. Um, I think that the way that he did it was really great. I did talk to him about making sure. I thought it was very important because so just so you know, like when I talk to him, I sometimes ask him questions and so I play the devil's advocate sometimes. And so just so you know, I did ask the question, what happens if you don't address this stuff? Let's work through that scenario. What's going to happen if you don't talk about this situation with Meredith and go back and fill it all in? And I think the conclusion was it's just this stuff is just going to continue. And that coming clean and putting it all out there was really the only shot for it to stop. But if it doesn't stop, if it continues, if it keeps going, at a bare minimum, the anxiety, stress, and that feeling of like doom is going to be gone. And that's the gift that he can give himself. It's the gift you can give yourself if you come out forward. And so you don't live with that anxiety and stress. And he was living with that all the time. It was always hanging over his head. The simplest of things that he thought were going to embarrass him, that she held on to, that she could expose. Girlfriends and boyfriends in relationships, Jeff has the tea on me. Jeff has the dirt on me. He has the worst of the worst on me. Vice versa. It is a very weird situation when you have somebody that you're no longer in a relationship with and they can expose you and show your worst, and that you all don't want that. You all don't want that for yourselves. And so I think um he's in a weird situation where the only thing that he can do is take the power away. And I absolutely fucking love that Meredith at some point like posted in one of her 1,000 diatribes yesterday, like she was going to do something and take the power away. Tell me you don't listen to my 24 on 24s without telling me you listen to your 24 on 24s, or however you say it. You know exactly where that came from. It comes from me and me saying all the time that we get ahead of things. We talk about it. We're honest about it so that it has no value and no power to the people that want to take you down. The repo thing, the Nurse Kim thing. Like let's say it all. Let's talk about all of it. Let's get ahead of it. Let me tell the story. Let me say what I want. You don't get that. You're not going to get that opportunity. We're doing it this way, right? And so I'm very happy with the way that he did it. Unfortunately, I'm going to be honest with you, there was more. There was some things that got left out because it went too long. And as you know, obviously, towards the end, someone was calling his ex-wife, and I think that was putting him in a position where he really couldn't go on. And he did stop. We kind of ramped it back up again at the end, and then Jimmy joined. Well, Jimmy joined during that whole thing, and then I jumped on at the end. And I wanted to kind of keep it light and like, not get too heavy because I think it had been really mentally exhausting for him. But so let's go back over a couple of things. Let's let's go over some things. So let me answer some questions. I want to get to what because I saw a couple people asking some questions here, and I want to get to those. Lauren Shay in the chat, love our stress text. Lauren was texting me and she's like, "Oh my God, what's happening? I'm very worried. What's going on?" I feel like, or do we all feel like we drank last night? Like, I feel like I drank and I smoked in a bar in Fall River until 2:30 in the morning. And now I'm like hungover. Like, I think somebody said I feel hungover. Like, I feel like it was just a rough night. If Pedialyte is your choice, like, let's go. So, all right, so there's a lot of things that are coming out of it. So the first thing is, um, he talked about how they met. And that was one of the things I was pushing for that he talked about the trauma bond that he told me. And I put that, and yes, the bingo card was obviously cultivated because we had been talking for days about what he was going to talk about and parts that were going to be shared. So I set you all up for success. And I can't believe we didn't fill the whole card. So don't you, so I wanted to know, I know, but I wanted you to know more about, I would ask him, why did you stay with her? What was it like in the beginning? And I liked hearing his story about being in jail. I liked him saying he fell in love with her. I think it was very important to hear him say, you know, I looked forward to her every day and I couldn't wait to get out and all of those things. I don't know if I've talked about this before or in depth, but I spoke to Aiden in jail quite a bit. And um I also remember him calling me. There was no schedule, obviously. Sometimes he would call me multiple times in a day, and you could tell he was like he needed human connection. We didn't know each other. I had just done an interview with him. I mean, we talked a little bit, but I always found it pretty crazy that he was calling me and I didn't know him. And then over time and learning his behaviors when we spoke on the phone, I could realize he was down bad. You know what I mean? He was really down bad. And in that time, I can see how, and he told me that he was talking to somebody. Obviously, I didn't know who it was. I was hopeful for him. But also, yeah, my radar was a little up. I was like, dude, you probably don't want to get a girlfriend while you're in jail. But that's just me. So I think the story of how things started, the expectation of what it was going to be like, the falling in love while you're in jail situation. I don't know anybody else that's been in jail. I don't know what that's like, but I suspect this happens pretty frequently. Okay. I do know somebody that was in a relationship with somebody before they went to jail. They broke up, then he went to jail, and she was like basically like planning a whole life for them when he came out of jail. So I've seen that at a minimum. But this whole situation, it sounded to me like this was him looking for some sort of like structure and stability and whatever. Now, there are a lot of comments that are saying like she preyed on him and she was calculated and she went after him while he was in jail. I'm not going to say I disagree with that. I do think that there's something a little bit about that because I just do. I just do. The other thing is, and we're not bashing Lindsay Gattani, okay? And shit, I put fake victim on the card, but I know he has a commitment to never calling her that, so I should have just put Lindsay's, and then we would have got bingo on that. But um, if Lindsay is your last girlfriend, doesn't everybody look great in comparison? You know what I mean? Who isn't going to look like sunshine? You know what I mean? So Everything looked good, and he went over everything about her that made her look like she was okay, she was great, she made a bitch making $200,000 a year, are you kidding me? If you are making that kind of money, we gotta talk about this, first of all. If you're making $200,000 a year, fucking get off the internet. Go spend your money. Go on vacation, go on day trips. What do you if I was making $200,000 a year, and I swear to God, Bunny after dark, if you don't fucking bring the numbers. If I'm making $200,000 a year, the only time you're going to see me on the internet is when I'm doing it for my job. I will not be on Twitter. I will not putting on these posts. I will be, bitch, I am going everywhere. Every goddamn place that has like cute snacks on Instagram within like a 100-mile radius, I'm driving there on a Sunday morning. I am going place. I am going to all the estate sales. I am going to like, that's a lot of goddamn money. What are you doing with your life? You're rich, bitch. Go spend your money. Please. Go. You could have such an enriching life with that kind of money. It's just you and your daughter. It's just you and one. I got three. We got a wedding. We got college. Oh my God. That kind of caught me off guard. So there's that. Second of all, you are paying $3,500 for that apartment. I don't want you to come live down here, but there are some apartments down in Fall River that are gorgeous, that are like $1,000 less than that. And you can pop on the train and you can head up to State Street or wherever you work. But if you're paying $3,500 for an apartment, you better not decorate it with like decor from the dollar store. Stop. Dollar store decor. Stop it. Last night we got like a better view. The blue and the yellow and the flowers. Crazy. This is my theory. It just goes to show there is a disconnect from society. Okay. I'm highly suspicious of women who don't decorate. Uh, do you know what I mean? I'm highly suspicious of a home that is not lived in and well lived in. No soul, no taste. The trim. Oh, we will be petty today. Um, do you know what I mean? So there's a couple things here about this that I'm really kind of I didn't expect, but if I'm going through it in my mind and we're going down a list, um, you're making a lot of money, and there's a lot of wonderful things you could do with your life, other than sitting on the internet and doing what you're doing. That's crazy to me. I'm going to tell you something. If I have $200,000 a year paycheck, and I will be doing so many wonderful things. My life would be so rich in so many ways, and it's not I can't believe that your bank account has that kind of money and you're sitting here on Thanksgiving and you're writing these fucking diatribes and you're like sectioning them off and you're putting like bold font like as a header in a paragraph, and then you're putting this thing and then a bold like do you want me to map out 1,000 things that you can spend your money on, Meredith? Like go to PPAC in Providence. I don't know where it's whatever. Go see musicals. Go go see musicals. Go to Newport and go see the Mansions. Go to a Celtics game with your daughter, who clearly, apparently, from what I'm hearing last night, doesn't like her. Yes, come on in, Georgia. Oh, what are you up to? What time are you guys going to Dad's? 12. Okay. Did you tell your boyfriend about the timing? Okay. Um, she does Peloton. So I'm just saying there's so much you could do. I can't believe it. I thought she was poor. That's poor person behavior. Turns out she's got plenty of money. Jesus Christ. So there's that. Yeah, so the situation with the daughter where Aiden kind of said the situation like, girl, get out of my room. I have an issue with this. This is how I've always felt. I judge you if you're not a good mom. That's it. It's I really, really do. I don't wanna hang with you if you're not a good mom. Um, and, I don't view her as being a good mother at all. And the number one reason is that she was staying in a toxic relationship that didn't work for her and her family. We learned that there was this concerted effort for him to move in with her by a deadline. They were going to buy a house or whatever. She was looking for childcare for Aiden so he could sleep there. Like disconnecting a man from his kids. We don't, I mean, as you know, like my kids are my life. Like, can you imagine how I'm feeling about that part of it? Like, get the fuck out of here. Okay. There's that. Like the part where he sent her the text message, and it's the week his mom died, right? And he's like, is it the week his mom died? And he's down at the water with his son and sends a video of him and his son like doing cannonballs. And she is no like, oh my God, that's so cute, or oh my God, look at him, or oh my God, that looks like must be so great. I'm so glad you guys are spending that time together. It's like, you're still there? Well, what time? Like, if I'm gonna give him any pushback, like, at going through this right now, if I'm giving him any pushback, you should have picked up on that shit with your kids right away and disconnected immediately. Like, there's no vagina in the world, there's no dick in the world that is gonna make me stay with a guy that is giving me that weird ick when it comes to my kids. So, I get it, he's distracted, I get it, he's, like, newly single after being married a long time, I get it, but, like, telling him, like, there's a plan, you're gonna move your daughter here, like, all of this stuff. You haven't even met the kids. I know you all breathed a sigh of relief when he was just like, "Yeah, we never," like, I think she met the kids. I'm not even sure, but it was never like a, "This is my girlfriend" situation. Love the fact that he recognized, though. He's like, "You know, I talked to my kids about it, and they weren't ready, and so they're not ready, and that's it. That's it." And so this weird thing, she didn't want, there's a thousand ways she could connect with the kids. There's a thousand ways that she could have connected with him, but she didn't want to do that. It wasn't about cultivating a relationship with his kids. They were a necessary part of her acquiring him. Um, there is a thread woven out throughout last night, and it's that he is a great dad. He is a really great dad. It's why I don't have like I have no issue with him when that, because if he wasn't a good dad, I'm not sure I would even be friends with him. That's a very important thing. Your children are your legacy. These relationships are very important. And so this part about like him showing this moment with him and his son, and that all that bitch fucking cared about was like when there was a lot of that. Also, I'm really, really glad that he talked about the situation surrounding his mother's death. This is a man who is covering the trial and the story that he really accelerated into the public eye, right? So professionally, he is at a high, right? Right now at that time, the Karen Reed trial is happening. This is his time to cover it, give the best coverage of it, make the most money, like elevate his base. Like from a professional standpoint, I'm like trying to think about like what at work. It's like the biggest project at work. It's the biggest promotion you've ever had. Okay. That's happening. So work-wise, you've got to be giving 150%. So there's that. Then you've got your own charges after you've already been in jail, and you are dealing with court cases and restraining orders and violations of bail and all of these things. So now you've got this other thing that completely deals with your freedom and your own personal legal issues. And so you've got this thing, which is quite honestly in the bucket of all of the things he has to deal with. That one would be probably the one that would be making me lose sleep the most. It was when I was dealing with that, and that fear, man, I don't know. I don't like to make this about me, but I am telling you that fear every day of being in violation of bail and potentially getting locked up and going to jail is suffocating. It does something to you that I can't explain. I wasn't myself. I was a shell of a person. I lost my hair. I was grinding my teeth when I slept. I was very easy to cry, more so than I am right now. Um, I constantly worried, not about me being in jail. I worried about my kids being in my house, waking up for school and like not having me around. Okay. So he had this whole other bucket going of jail. So he's got the high of his professional career happening. He's got this whole thing of like a bucket with jail and all the shit. And then he's got his mom dying, right? Three things that I think are causing ultimate stressors, anxiety, all of this stuff, right? And then you've got this bitch coming in here talking about like her and what she isn't getting and what he's not doing for her and the shit with his family and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, are you, dude, like, let's play devil's advocate. What would it have been like if he had a woman who just silently went there, smiled with everybody, never got on the internet, comforted him, cooked him a goddamn fucking meal, cooked him a meal. You know what's missing from this? Bread. Make a sourdough. Like she was not comforting him. She wasn't taking care of him. She wasn't and by the way, I don't think anybody getting in a relationship with Aiden Carney thinks that he's going to be taking care of you. That's not happening. You're there to take care of him. And there's somebody out there that will fit that role. I don't know who it is or whatever, but like you could have been letting him lay with his head on your lap every night. You could have cooked him dinner and given him a safe space to come home to after the fucking chaos of fucking Jen McCabe and the Karen Reed trial and all this. You like, I feel bad for him that he didn't understand that that's what he deserved and he needed it. You know what I mean? And like, I think sometimes the internet gets to him and he has moments of feeling like maybe he isn't a good person and maybe this is what he deserved. This is the best that he could get. You know what I mean? But like, again, this all comes back to confidence building, everybody. We'll do a whole class on this. But this is about confidence building and like, no, dude, you deserve that. You know what I mean? Like everything that's happening to you is ultimately under the umbrella of free speech, under the umbrella of we're going to root out corruption, blah, 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 blah. Karen chose the second he cheated on his wife, his kids. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. That has nothing to do with Meredith. Okay. Nothing. So I just think of all of the things that Meredith could have been for him, and she was absolutely none of those things. She was that when he was in jail, but that didn't translate into real life. The other takeaway from last night is apparently the whole family at some point recognized this and they expressed it at points throughout the relationship that they were not okay with this, not on board with this girl. And you know, at the end of the day, like we're all his friends and the internet are his people, but his siblings were basically like, nah, man, you know what I mean? No. Um, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I think you saw there, hold on one sec, because I'm getting annoyed and I just don't want to deal with, I just want peace in the chat. I want peace in the chat. It's not that like you can be here and you can watch this, but I can't have you like just kind of like oh, you can't go crazy. Sorry. There we go. Um so the family was basically like, and can we please talk for a second and then I'll read some comments. Can we please discuss the family stone moment? Because I saw the besties in the chat and they knew exactly what we were all thinking the exact same thing. The family stone moment where I thought I just deleted that person. Oh, there we go. How about that? I did it. I did it. Um, okay. So the family stone moment where Aiden tells everybody that the family that she blocked on social media, the one that she like screamed about because they didn't think it was an appropriate time for her to come. The king about this, we don't care about Jen Altman, whatever, but like Jen Altman going to the funeral was appropriate. And she was so hung up that Jen Altman was who does that? Who is like the guy lost his mom and you want to get into semantics about what friends I could never. And I know most of you could not ever. But this whole family situation happens. And then what does she do? She goes and takes a baby picture or a picture of Aiden's mom with him as a baby, makes out multiple copies, and then goes and drops them off for his family. And then he admits live last night that nobody wanted it, and then he threw them away. First of all, we were all just like, oh my God, she family stoned him. It's my favorite movie. And that happens in the movie. So maybe she got the idea from there, whatever. But like again, there is just some sort of like emotional disconnect that doesn't make any sense with her. So that happened. So overall from last night, you found out that the family wasn't on board. His mom wasn't on board. She integrated the herself into being the primary focus around his mom's death and the funeral. That's enough right there. That's enough. That with the kids and the disconnect from the kids and wanting to spend less time with his kids, not caring about him and the time of his kids, blah, 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 blah. By the way, keep in mind, there's also an adjustment happening. Whether he had an affair on his wife or whatever, that's one thing. But there was a dissolution of his marriage that was happening in real time. And also he had lost time with his kids. And like, there should have been a heavier focus on the family. And she should have, again, cultivated. I truly believe that if she were a good person, there would have been moments and times where she could have cultivated opportunities for them to meet and come together, and she didn't. And then it, I knew this too. He had already told me about this. Like, with his ex-wife, it was so hard to co-parent with her when Meredith was in the picture. And he talked about the Cape Cod situation. And I remember Tina and Courtney talking to me about this, that he went down the Cape without his kids. He went on vacation without her, but he didn't want the kids to be with her. And so then she goes and posts the pictures online, and then Julie gets mad. And it's just like, you know what I mean? So, the dissolution of his marriage, but okay, fine. If he wants to cheat on his wife and move on and get divorced, fine. Still going to go through a transition of not living with your kids full time. Still going to go through the transition. Every relationship that breaks up and ends and there's kids involved, everybody goes through this. So there was that situation too. And again, not supportive, not helpful, or whatever, is just weird. So we got through the family part of it. We got through the friend part of it. The kids part of it. So those things were, I think in detail and explained, and that's it. The next thing was Jess, tell the chat why your first baby daddy left you told me. What do you want? You want to make it about me? That's fine. Right. We talked about this the other day. What do you talk? Everybody in here knows the story. Actually, not even the whole story, by the way. What are you going to keep making fucking accounts? I'm going to have to keep blocking you. I should leave you there. I don't care. I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you. The besties do know everything. I tell my besties all of the things in time. I can't just like sit here and stream for 48 hours and tell you everything about myself. Not Mike Crawford. All right, so let's look at some questions, and then we're going to keep just dissecting things. Let's read some of these and put these up because they're kind of piling up here. Lori sends $2 and she says, "Love you. Good morning." TRCOG sends $5 and said, "You're inspiring to me. Love you, bestie. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, babe." And she also became a YouTube member. Welcome. You're going to love it here. Erin Hack, good morning. She says the other day Meredith posted actions over words. Does she actually realize that people like apparently in paragraphs and actions don't? She created this for herself. Well, we're going to the thing here is we're dealing with a very like unique personality that cannot manage a breakup. She can't manage it. I'm going to give a little grace to Meredith here. So when a relationship ends, in my opinion, and you don't want it to end, it brings out the absolute worst in you. And you're not your best, right? If you're on the receiving end of a breakup, that sucks. Um, it does. And I'm sure everybody here has felt that at some point. But what is happening with Meredith is very different. This is an extraordinary set of circumstances. And then on top of that, and I wasn't sure if everybody knew this kind of stuff, but did everybody know about the situation with the ex? About hacking into his account and sending a message to them and saying that he was rejecting it? Did everybody know about that? Because I wasn't sure. I thought everybody knew. I thought I saw some people in the chat who were like, "What are you talking about?" Um, so I'm not sure, but I thought everybody knew that. The real Bierbauer, 9.99, thank you, says this woman is a true sadistic psychopath. Someone who gets off on the things she does has fucked with others. She's a VP at a bank. I wonder who else has been hurt or fucked by this woman. Well, she's threatening to hurt Jimmy. She's threatening to go after me. I mean, it's not even thinly veiled. She is straight out saying, like, get ready, Jess. The video Kate Peter put out of you is going to pale in comparison to the video I put out of you. I have a real issue with pathetic pieces of shit who sit around and spend time. We did this the other day. Hold on. We did this the other day where we talked about close your eyes. Just close your eyes for a second. So here's now you have a visual because you know what the apartment looks like. So close your goddamn eyes. She's in the apartment. She's sitting on the couch. There's all this like weird blue, white, and yellow decor. There's all this border and shit going on. It's overhead lighting. There's no table lamps. And she's sitting with her laptop and she's typing out things and finding things, and she's making a video about me. And then she's going, yeah, that works. Oh, no, I don't want to do it that way. Wait, that part's going to go in front of this part. Are you envisioning this? Just close your eyes and see it. You see her. I know. And she's sitting there, right? Maybe she's got socks on and sweats and a sweatshirt. And she's just sitting there on her couch, and her daughter's in her room screaming how much she hates her. And she's like putting together this video compilation and adding subtitles and making sure the font is just right. And she's putting this all together, and she's like, yeah, I love this. And it takes an hour and like 55 minutes. And she makes a $200,000 a year. Is that not the most fucking pathetic thing you have ever heard of in your life? Is that not the most pathetic thing you have ever envisioned? I'm so sorry for the visual early this morning, but is that not just the craziest thing in the world? Asking for a friend. Sorry. Also, in 1 second, remind me about the video from last night. Genuine became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. You're gonna love it here. We just read that one. Thank you so much. Meredith needs professional help ASAP. I think Aiden said last night, like she started with the therapist and then she fired him because the therapist told her to break up with Aiden. I will say this. So with my first baby daddy, Julia's dad, listen, I was in my early 20s and he was in his 40s, right? And there was a lot of reasons why it wasn't going to work. But he went to therapy. to deal with like his stress and anxiety. Again, business owner, a lot going on or whatever. And he went to therapy. And at one point, it was time to like integrate me into that. And I remember going there and we talked. I talked to the guy alone. Then we did like two couples things together. And we came back, and the therapist was just like, I don't know if this is going to work. And you guys might want to separate. And I remember feeling, who the fuck do you think you are telling me that, like, but how are you going to be open to hearing that? You know what I mean? I was like, it's going to work. We're going to be fine. Don't worry. I'm 24 and he's 46. It's working. Poor guy getting paid like $200 an hour to tell us the truth. And we're just straight up ignoring him and then going home and having sex afterwards. It was just like, you don't care. Like, whatever. I get it. It's hard to hear. She didn't take that well, so she fired him. He was never able to properly enjoy his victory. Great point. Great point. That's on him. He could have ended this sooner. He could have ended this sooner. He could have gotten out. There's a lot of things that he could have done. I'm not judging him. I'm just saying, again, I think it's an underlying feeling of like, maybe I just don't know if he thinks he deserves it. I'm here for the era where he is just like, I'm not going to be in a relationship. I'm going to sleep with women. I'm going to do AB's dude. Please, somebody, I gotta send myself a note. Stand by. Hold on. We have to talk about Yellowstone. I've got to send myself a note about this because, hold on. We can't forget to say something because a bestie found something out and I was thinking it last night. Hold on. Song in video. Yellowstone. All right, I gave myself a note. Okay, let's keep going. I want to see what these comments are. I know I'm a few minutes behind, but what do you think of Meredith calling Julie during the stream? So I don't think it's a coincidence, obviously. Like once we got off, we were backstage and we were talking to him. It was a male voice, apparently. But I'm wondering, it's just not a coincidence to me. You know what I mean? That's not a coincidence. You can't have him doing a live stream about Meredith and then like Julie's getting these calls and things, but it was apparently a male voice. So I don't really know. I'm not sure. Not sure. Thank you for that. All right. So let's pick up where we are. This call stopped as soon as he announced that he was stopping the stream. She had someone call. Jason. So while we're at it, we can talk about Jason. I don't like Jason Broyles for a lot of reasons. First of all, I had no issue with Jason Broyles. I have an issue with fake accounts overall. I don't like it. I have a problem with people not feeling comfortable enough to say the truth, their truth, or just don't say anything at all. But to cultivate a whole personality and make these burner accounts is absolutely wild to me. The notion of maybe making a burner account to like provoke yourself to respond to something is also next level fucking crazy. And I blame the internet for just existing and that stuff happens. But Broyles and me, not how I'm not, I've never had any interaction with him other than a couple of like inbox message. I've stayed away from him. He and I have stayed away from each other. Nothing really going on there. But I really had an issue with the fake account, right? Just to let you know. My first interaction with Broyles was I was writing, so a lot of people know, but who is Jason Broyles? So he was like the not Haley Wellbrecht account or whatever it is. And I didn't, so let me back this up a little bit. I work for Fall River Reporter and I had all of Lindsay Gattani's probate documents prior to them being impounded. And I was taking my time. I was a new writer and I was writing this whole like thing and putting this all together. And my boss at Fall River Reporter got a message from Lindsay Gattani and said she was going to sue him if he printed or published what I wrote. And so my boss at the time was like, we're still going to do it. And I think he was talking to Aiden. Like he knew Aiden. And I think he asked Aiden, like, who is this Lindsay Gattani? And do I have to worry about her? And I think, Aiden probably told him a little bit of history there. And my boss came back to me and he's like, we're still going to print this. Like, you put the work in, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, great. Well, he eventually never posted it. But at some point, I believe Broyles messaged me and he was like, I'm going to publish. Are you okay with that? And at that point, kind of had this whole feeling of like, I work so hard on this and I don't like that I'm not going to get the opportunity to put it out there. I think I released it on Twitter, like an informal, like soft launch of it. And then I took it down because I didn't like that. And so Broyles took over and released it. And that's when he started to really kind of come into like the fold because he had something that everybody wanted to see and to read. Fine. I will tell you, the Haley Wildrecht account sent me Jason Broyles sent me a picture of his driver's license like right away. He wanted me to know who he was. He was like, "This is who I am. I'm behind this account." I mean, I could go back and pull up the message, but very early when he stepped on the scene, he could probably tell I'm like, I don't like fucking like fake accounts and you're sus. And he was like, well, here's who I am, and but nobody knows. I think like literally two people knew who he was at the time. And I was like, what? Okay, what? I don't fucking care, dude. Like, I don't like that you're doing these fake accounts. Like, if you're from Connecticut and you want to interject yourself into this, like that's on you. But like, be you. You know what I mean? What value does it have to be like a fake account? Like, I don't get it. Like, why can't you just be you and say it, right? Like, that's my take. Again, off my radar, don't care. And then I got a message from a woman who basically wanted me to listen to her talk about like her experience with Jason Broyles and another woman's experience with Jason Broyles. And it had to do with him being a creep. And so she made a good case for it. And she put everything together and sent it all over to me and was basically looking for me to out this story. And I never told Aiden. I never told Broyles or anything like that. And I sat on it and sat on it and sat on it. And I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. It wasn't like I wasn't believing her. I'm just always suspicious when people come to me with a story about themselves, and want me to push it out there. I do better with stories that have nothing to do with the person or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I think at that time he had posted something about like him like crack whores or something. Like he cheated on his wife with a crack whore. And I inboxed him and I was like, is that legit? Did you really like do that? And he's like, oh yeah. And then he started going off and I recognized like, there are guys that like just talk a certain way that things have like a sexual tone to them or whatever. I picked that vibe up and I was just like, is this guy weird? Like, is he weird? If I could have if I could have done anything, I probably would have posted, everybody just fucking stop talking to this guy. I mentioned it to Aiden and Aiden was just like, he's a good guy. He's a loyal guy. He's a good guy. This is the thing with Aiden. Like, it caused me to step away. Remember for a bit, I was just like, it's just the loyalty thing to what? What are we being loyal to here? We're being loyal to a guy who is still friendly or supporting Meredith, knowing everything that Meredith has done. What? Why are you allowing that in your circle? Why are you trusting that person? You don't even know him. There's no like relationship with this guy other than like an internet relationship. Like hard, hard pass. If anybody's keeping track, I've been right about everybody. Everybody, I've been right about everybody. So now Broyles is like the go-between. And listen, if I don't target me, don't come at me, don't do shit to me. I don't want to, don't do it. Okay. You can, whatever. I don't care. But like, it's just weird. It's just weird. I also understand like the whole idea Aiden was saying last night about like, he wasn't going to tell Jason, don't be friends with her. I'm the same way. I have enemies. I'm not going to tell. So I think I don't know. Did I say it live last night? Like, I'm not gonna tell. Okay, so like I have Holly McNamara down here, right? Like arch nemesis, Kayla Churchill. Okay, Kayla Churchill. If Ben Rosa, right, wants to be friends with Kayla Churchill because we're all in the same thing. I'm not going to tell. I've never said to Ben Rosa, "Don't talk to Kayla Churchill. Don't be friends with her." Right? Like, don't talk to her. Don't work with. I'm not saying he's friends with her or whatever, but like, he's Ben Rosa is a great party person in the party. I would never send him a message and be like, "You can't fucking talk to her," and blah blah blah. I would never do that. But what I do have is I have free choice to say I no longer want to talk or communicate to Ben Rosa. I'm not, I'm just a bad example. I would never do that. But like Aiden has the ability to step away and say, if you're going to be friends with her, you're going to back her up. I don't want to be friends with you. You don't need to sit around and wait for him to do the right thing. You can do it and protect your space. Um, so I see a bunch of things in here about, is it MLP Pink Lady? Am I right? Is that who's in the chat? So MLP is a fan of mine and has messaged me in the past. And I recognize that it sounds to me like she is a fan of Meredith. Am I correct? So yeah, I'm gonna address this right now. I think this is very important. I am 100% if people are team Meredith, you can be, that's fine. Let her say what she wants. I'm not blocking her. She's not a troll. She's a real person. And I'm not going to block her. I'll block a troll. I'll block a fake profile who's coming in here to instigate. But are you all here? I'm asking you as besties, are you not all here able to let a person have a different opinion of you in this chat? You can do two things. You can ignore her and block her, or you can go tit for tat with her in the chat and up your game and go at her. You can do that. Keep it clean. Don't be cunty to each other, and it's fine. I'm not going to block. We can handle, like, if she's saying something you don't like, then bring your fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to block somebody who supports me and has a different opinion than me. I noticed this a couple days ago. I saw her on Meredith's posts. I saw MLP on Meredith's posts supporting her and whatever. And I was just like, interesting take, but okay. Did I block her? No. Am I kicking her out of here? No, we're adults here. We're adults here. The fake Karen Reed accounts I have to keep blocking because that's obviously like someone. I don't know who it is. Jen Altman? Is it Meredith? Who is it? I have no idea. Is it Karen? I have no idea. Do you want to talk about, do you want some, let's, let me send it to myself because we'll talk about it. Hold on. I got to send it to myself. Um, Sending that to myself. Okay, let me read a couple of comments because I have 3 things that we need to talk about. Sadly, conservatives are more likely to live and let live. You mean like freedom of speech, freedom to live your life, freedom to not get vaccinated, freedom to do whatever you want? Like, what do you mean? Crazy. Jess is a nut job. Yes. It's why your dad likes me so much. I just left his house. He says hi. And he left your mom for a reason. So, all right. So we've let's keep moving through this whole thing. So the Broyle situation to me is beyond a point where it's like it can be amicable and you can be friends with both. No, not anymore. I felt that way for a long time, but after what has been happening over the past couple of days, how could you possibly still be friends with Aiden and be friends with Meredith at this point? You've got to pick and choose. Personally, I don't think Aiden should let him pick and choose. Aiden should be like, I have boundaries, I have space here, we're all set. Do you know what I mean? So we talked through that. We talked about I think the situation about his mom, that was pretty much, I'm very glad he talked about that. I'm glad he put together the timeline with the funeral so you could see what was happening in real time. I think that is crazy. Men can be abused too. So now let's get to the situation this week with the video and stuff like that. I personally didn't think that the video of him crying hit the way that like he maybe thought. I know, I talked to him on Thanksgiving and he was really stressed out about that video and him crying and stuff like that. I'm just going to be honest with you. We're at the point where anything that Meredith is sharing is coming from a place of you thinking that it was a safe space. And so whatever. Listen, I- I'm sure, if I always say sometimes, like if I'm in an argument with Jeff or things aren't going right, if there were a camera up in the corner of my dining room watching us argue, it would be the most cringeworthy shit of all time. And I wouldn't want anybody to see it. And what Meredith has done is she has taken that fake camera and made it a reality and shared it with all of you for one reason only. And that is to get you to think he is an asshole or a loser and to make you sympathize with her. It is a chip she played and she laid it out there. It didn't work. That's the crazy thing. It didn't work. Anybody who hates Aiden, are they loving that? Sure. I'm talking to you, Mike Crawford. What a fucking loser you are, dude. What a loser you are. And I swear to fucking God, the day that Aiden was saying shit on his live stream and Mike came on and Mike's like, I want better for you, man. I want you to do this a certain way and blah, blah, blah. I want you to elevate and you're better than this. I was listening to that live and I was like, the fuck? And I talked to Aiden right after that live and I was like, why? He's like, well, there, this is not loyalty. This is not loyalty. Mike Crawford is a scumbag. Okay. He is a scumbag and he has amassed a following of people because of his live streaming during the Karen Reed trial or whatever. Because you know what? Everybody was out there and they're like, oh, we love these YouTube creators and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, the YouTube creator community was elevated because of Karen. Karen wanted to control the narrative around the public because mainstream media wasn't doing it for her. And so the only way to do it was to get all the YouTube content creators together and invite them to a dinner and invite them. You know why? I know that. I was never invited. Nobody ever invited me. I was an independent journalist. I was fair. How come I didn't get an invitation? You know why? I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't have a YouTube channel. So Karen elevated all of these people. She fucking elevated LTL. She elevated Mike Crawford. Aiden was already elevated. He was already there before all of this. So it's not a disappointment to me about Mike Crawford because I have this innate ability to see people for exactly what they are. And I saw the shit with Mike Crawford day one when he said, I used him for money. And I am still waiting for Mike Crawford to post the receipts of him giving me anything other than that one time. Show everybody how much money I took from you, Mike Crawford. The answer is none. Show us how much money Nan gave you, though. For him to be his weird posting this week is, first of all, this is very typical of liberals, okay? It's very typical of liberals. They're simps, exactly. This is very typical. And I don't mean to make it political, but it's like on brand for them. His shit, oh my God, it's crazy. Him posting that video of Aiden and saying he's the real closet baby. Listen, it's not a Horizon social chat. There are ebbs and flows in this. And maybe this week with the video and what Meredith has been doing, Aiden has been like on a little bit of a dip. You think it's going to stay there forever? Absolutely not. You think Mike Crawford is on a dip or a decline? We're on a steep decline, okay? Steep decline because his followers that were Turtle Boy followers are not following him anymore. So he's like this. Sinking ship, it's on its way down. It's gross. Also, he's gross, right? Like, he's just gross looking? Okay, thanks. Um, and so he's on a decline. This isn't like a dip, ebb, and flow. There's nothing Mike Crawford's not gonna get picked up by, like this continues to blow my mind that the conservative Howie Carr continues to, like, work with this guy. I know that there are conservative Republicans in the party who are getting pretty fed up with it. You know, whatever, but it is what it is. So, the Mike Crawford thing is nuts. Nuts. Let me read a couple of comments. Let's see what people are saying. Um, Mike Crawford blew it with Mr. Bettero the second he spoke badly of Aiden. How stupid, how terribly stupid of him. Why what is it that makes people think that Mike Crawford is some sort of intellectual? Because he wears glasses and he looks homely? That doesn't equate to, like, being educated or smart or bright. Um Easy, just not all of us. Mike Crawford, who? Who? He sounds gross. He looks gross. He's low energy. He's a simp. He's a liberal. He's a traitor. He's not loyal. Think about how many people you know walk dogs for a living. Just look at that person. I'm not, whatever. Has nothing to do with it. Jess, I'm a progressive and I completely disagree. Mike Crawford is a bitch because he's not a genuine person, not because he's liberal. Fair enough. Fair enough. Aiden is in the chat and he says, there's just no reason to watch his show. He's not interesting. I agree. And, you know, again, I don't spend time looking at other people's data and other people's numbers, but I have some peeps who have been monitoring those things and they give me updates. And he's on a decline and he's going to continue on that decline unless he, like, completely rebrands himself. Although how'd that work out for Brian? Did he rebrand himself? Him too. Like, and what's going to happen is you're going to see this subgroup of people that are going to, like, start commiserating with each other. They're all going to circle around Meredith, right? I can't wait for Brian. Like, where's Brian's fucking, maybe Brian will just, like, start easing into it and just be like, hey, Meredith, you know, like, put back on the pocket square and start moving things like, so you're going to see Cryford, BLT, Nan, Meredith. JFK seems to be staying above the fray. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that shit. But you're going to see this subgroup of people, right? That are all just going to kind of, like, get together and do all the shit. You don't want to be a part of that. Just so you know. You can do whatever you want, but you don't want to be a part of that, in my opinion. Crawford is a pathetic person that jumped on JFK train because everyone else is sick of him. I can't. All right. So let me go to which YouTube content creator will have Meredith on as a guest first? Whatever one doesn't do camera forward facing interviews, because she's never going to put her face on there. By the way, I feel like, Aiden, you needed to give us some sort of a warning when you put that video up on the screen. Academy Award performance, Meredith, to the fake crying. First of all, I know you all were sent when he puts this video up. She's talking to him, crying to him, no tears, no tears. And then it's like, let me get out my notes, and pulls out an iPad and starts reading the notes from the iPad to Aiden in a video on the couch in the apartment with the bad lighting. I cannot believe that happened. And also, like, you left it on the screen too long. I can't. I think she'll do a spaces before she does an interview. Amber Heard 2.0. I was just not okay with that whole thing. Not one tear. Not one tear. It was. Can I just ask you a question? If you're in a relationship and this, do you know what I force Jeff to do? We fucking have to talk face to face. I go sit in the sunroom while he smokes his cigarettes and we're hashing out an issue and talking it out until we get to a point where we can move on. Okay? Like, why are you sending videos? That's robot shit. Like, that's like, what are you doing? Do you not know how to, like, talk or be in a relationship? It's fake. Zero fucking emotion. Fake tears, nothing. All right. I want to go to the things that I sent myself because we need to talk about a couple of things. we'll continue to logistically work through. Um, but in the video of the apartment, one of the videos that Meredith shared was when Aiden was lying on the bed and she was just, again, we've already closed our eyes and envisioned this, but like half shaft. I'm so glad it got a little punchy at the end because, and I tried to keep it light, and I think Jimmy did too, because it was so heavy and there needed to be some sort of like light at the end. You know what I mean? But the half shaft thing was absolutely hysterical. But so let's go back to the video, okay? And Aiden is now, this is, I don't know, you guys will have to tell me. Did you know that this video that she released was the night before court? Like, because I knew, but I'm not sure if everybody else knew. Think about this. You have a bond hearing the next day or whatever is happening, blah, 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 blah. You got a court date tomorrow, right? And and this is happening. Now, the guy's got to go to bed, he's got to wake up, and he's in her bed and he's sleeping, and she's got a camera out and she's like hitting him and she's going, "Get out. Leave my house. Get out. Get out. Leave my house. Aiden, get out. Get out. Get out," right? And for the first time, and I've seen this video before. For the first time last night when it was being played, I heard music in the background. Like playing in the background, and I didn't hear that the first time. Okay? And I'm going, "Is there music playing in the background?" And I think some people in the chat were like, "What music is playing?" Okay. Now here we are. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. He's asleep in your bed. You've been drinking. She's been drinking. There's court the next day, big court thing. He's in your bed. You're recording him. You got your phone out, and there's music going on in the background, right? One of my followers knew exactly what song it was, and I did too, but I just couldn't think of it at the time. She was playing "The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived" by Taylor Swift. At 3 o'clock in the morning with her camera out, with him on her bed sleeping, recording, tapping him and telling him to go out. She's playing Taylor Swift in the background, "The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived." Here's some lyrics. "Was any of it true? Gazing at me starry eyed in your Jehovah Witness suit. Who the fuck was that guy? You tried to buy some pills from a friend of friends of mine. They just ghosted you. Now you know what it feels like. And I don't even want you back. I just want you to know if rusting my sparkling summer was the goal, and I don't miss what we had, but could someone give a message to the smallest man who ever lived?" You hung me on your wall, stabbed me with your pushpins, in public showed me off, then sank in stoned oblivion. 'Cause once your queen had come, you treat her like an also ran. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man. 3 o'clock in the morning, guy's on your bed. You supposedly care for him. You supposedly love him. He's got a big court hearing tomorrow. You invited him to the house. You invited him to your apartment. He's there. He's not fucking you or doing what you want with him, reverse cowboy style. We'll get to that. And you're threatening him to call the cops. You say you're going to tell the cops that he hit you. And then you cue up Taylor Swift, a song that you apparently identify with, that you probably rage sing in your car, and you play that in the background as some sort of like eerie soundtrack to what's going on. Right. So there's that. There's that. Like, that's the next level of crazy. Okay. Nuts. Um, hold on one second, please. What does this say? Hey, Jess, tell your chat where you were 2 weeks ago, Friday night. Okay. Let me look at my calendar and let me tell everybody where I was 2 weeks ago, Friday night. So, what's today's date? Today's the 29th. So yesterday was the 28th. So not the 21st, but the 14th. So Friday night on the 14th, if I am correct, I think we were moving Julia into her house. Am I correct? Where was I? I think that was the weekend Julia moved into her house. My besties would probably know. 2 weeks ago on Friday. Oh, it's a fake James Jackson. Shit, he got me. Got me. Oh, sorries. Um, oh shit. I'm sorry. I thought it was the real James Jackson. It's fake. I didn't know. I'm sorry. It happens to the best of us. Jess, you have people pressed. Are there a lot of fake? Do you want me to take a second and get the trolls out? I can do that. It was Julia's move-in weekend. That is okay. Yes, I think that is correct. It's too early for him. Yeah, I think that's what we were doing that weekend. That was the we're leaving him? All right, I'll get him out. Hold on, stand by. 11:28, he started working. We gotta talk about yellow. Let me find the account. You guys are chatting too much. And when I go, like, let me just find it. Hold on. I know you all want to talk about Yellowstone. Hold on. Oh, I found it. Oh, no, wait. No, I didn't. Stop chatting. Hold on. James Jackson. Hey, Jess, tell the chat where you are. All right, I'll remove you. We were moving Julia into her new house because I'm mom of the year. Chats equal money. It's all, Jimmy told me it's all about engagement. Get a couple of mods, they can help. Listen, I agree. Everybody has a soundtrack. If you're not making a connection with songs and stuff like that, then you're a little weird. Everybody needs soundtracks and shit like that. That's fine. When you are in your car and you're like upset and you're mad at him because he didn't let you go to his mom's funeral because he didn't want his ex-wife to be uncomfortable and his family didn't like you. And I get that. You want to get upset and you want to pull up a Tay-Tay song. I'm here for it. To fucking play it as a soundtrack while you're fucking threatening to tell the cops that he hit you is goddamn fucking batshit crazy. Jesus Christ. All right. So the 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 Taylor Swift, I mean the Yellowstone thing fucking sent me. And I knew there would be no way that he wouldn't be able to talk about like the sex stuff or whatever, but like it was worth it. It was worth it. These are the kinds of things that probably have nothing to do with us and we shouldn't be involved in, but we are or whatever. But like he kind of went hard on her at the end, you know what I mean? Deservedly so. But basically saying like, he was thinking of other women when he was having sex with her because he wanted to just watch Yellowstone because she just I don't know. Release a video of him crying on the floor about not seeing his kids and going back to jail, or like talk about how when he was having sex with you, he was thinking about somebody else. I think they're the same. I think they're the same. I think they're the same. That's my opinion. And then also in real time last night while he was on, he was finding out that she recorded like his phone calls and stuff. I haven't even gone back to her stuff. I gotta go and take a look. But like she's recording dead fish mode, Lauren. I fucking die. I've seen there's a comment here and it's saying honestly, his honesty humanizes him. We all know he's not perfect. We all had moments we wouldn't want anyone to see. Turtle Boy needs a medal because he still tried to be respectful to her last night. You can see how betrayed he is. It's so messed up. Um, she had Peacock. She had a Peacock subscription. I think hold on, I have a message here I've got to get to. Sometimes I get messages from people with numbers that look like burner numbers and they're pretending to be my friends or fans and I get sus because um I'm not sure who they are and I worry they're trying to, you know what I mean, do weird shit. I'm not sure. So I have to like kind of watch that. Um the downside of putting my phone number out there. I think another part of the night, which I think was very important to kind of clear the air here, was and when we shut the cameras off and we were backstage for just a minute, I asked him like how he or no, I think I asked him live about how he talked about the text messages with when he was talking about like Karen and wanting to bang Karen or whatever. I think again, like another like embarrassing nugget that nobody wants their personal life out there. I think it's gonna fall extremely flat. Again, like has no power, has no value now. That thing has just no use. Okay, so like you're talking to a girl, you're talking about Karen Reed, you want to fucking fuck both of them and do was it goddamn Jimmy last night who's like, so how would that work? Like would one get on and one go to like tell me you're a gay man without telling me you're a gay man. But he was just like, how does that work? Like one gets on, one gets off. Aiden's like, we'll make it work. Like what we share. Like it was just dead. 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 Um, but now we got that out of the way. Like, and listen, I guess new fear unlocked. If she had been recording him at times when he didn't know, he's probably now sitting there and going, okay, well, what else does she have on me? What else did she record or whatever? So did all of this kind of go away? I haven't talked to him yet. He's in the chat. Like, I don't know if he wants to come on. It's Saturday. I would never ask him to come on. But like, I'm wondering how he feels. Does he feel the relief that he thought he would feel? Is it instant? Does he need to ease into it? Like how is he feeling? And that's his story to tell. And isn't it Saturday? So he's got a show tonight. So maybe he'll talk about that. Um, but I think for me, what my hope was for him was that he would share the story, put it all together in a timeline, overshare a little bit, give some stuff that he might not want to go. You want to come on for a bit? Let me send you a link. Stand by. Give me a minute. All right, I just sent him a link. So I'm just wondering if he's feeling relief, if he's feeling like how long will that last? Is there a new fear unlocked with the calling his ex? Like how's it all going? I will say, what time did it end? 10 o'clock? I mean 2 o'clock had 10,000 people in there all the way up into the end. But let's bring him on. He's here.
Yo,
Good
hello.
morning.
How are you?
Jesus Christ. Hi. How's it going? I'm
I'm
good. How are you?
feeling all right. I can't complain. Can you hear me all right? I don't know if the audio
We
is
can hear
fucked
you.
up. Okay, I don't know if it's on a delay. But yeah, feeling all right. Glad I got that shit off my chest. There was so much more I didn't get to. I'm like thinking of all the shit. Like you just mentioned that Taylor Swift lyrics, and I didn't show like what she posted that night on Twitter. She posted a link to that song on Twitter and a picture of the woman who she like, dude, what she's done to that woman who's been left out of it, like is that was one of the coldest things she did because she's like a really nice person. And Meredith has terrorized her and doesn't feel the least bit of guilt over it and like that she's done anything wrong. And her because she thinks it's okay because she sent me titty pictures. So she deserves to have her life ruined. And like yeah, she deserves to have naked pictures of her out on the internet without her fucking consent. Like it's evil and demented. And anyone who supports this or thinks this is normal or this is some sort of like messy breakup in which both sides are kind of in the wrong. Like, no, not having that. Get out. You can't be part of my life anymore if you think that. You are fucking insane. This is a litmus test to see what kind of person you are. If you think any of this at all is remotely acceptable, then you are a fucking crazy person, and people should stay away from you too.
So I mean, I guess you talked a little bit about that last night. You kind of put it out there for Jason. You can't kind of have it both ways here and be friends. Do you feel like there's a line drawn in the sand there with him right now?
Oh yeah, I mean, like whatever. I mean, if Jason, like whatever. I mean, Jason. I guess I'm friends with him. You know what I mean? But like, if he's okay with it, my question is, why do you want to be friends with her? Like, why is she? She's not fun. She's not cool. She's high
Right.
strung. She's clearly mentally ill. Like, what do you get out of being friends with her? Like, why would anybody, you know what I mean? Like, this,
Right.
she has no friends. Like, I've never met a friend. I was with Meredith for a year and a half. I never met a friend. I'd never met a friend. The only friends I knew were like, Deanna and Lauren, who she met through me, like, through Turtle Boy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know like you put a lot out there. You shared a lot about like the timeline and everything, how it started. And then you didn't get to, so let me first ask question is this. You didn't get to everything. Do you feel like you need to do a part two? I know that wasn't a thing that you wanted to do, but do you feel like there's still some stuff that was left on the table you need to address?
I mean, there's some good shit I can share. Like, you got to see the texts. Like, the constant threats from her and just the mean girl stuff about like it would be a shame if Bill Reed saw those texts what you said about it. I guess he'll have to find out now. Like, it's like, bro, it's so just demented. Mean.
Yeah.
Like, I was with her for a year and a half. I didn't know her at all. I'm like, I didn't know you. Like, this is not the person I knew. It's crazy. Like, the most alarming part about this is that apparently throughout our relationship, every phone call was being recorded, and people like, well, you did a recording too. I didn't post anything, okay, and I didn't like record only if you called me up and started screaming at me. She apparently had an app on her phone that records everything. I know this because one time, right after this recording date happened, which I didn't get into all the Joe Flipperhead shit with her either, and sending him all this stuff. But like, I
Right.
was asking her about that, and I was talking to her on the phone, and all of a sudden, I heard this call is no longer being recorded. I'm like, what was that? She's like, I don't know. Like, she just lied. Oh, I don't know.
Right.
And I just, believed her, and you know, I just gave her the benefit of the doubt as being a normal person because she presents as normal. But man, like, it's scary. I didn't know her at all. It's a lot to process.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to know about the phone calls to your family's home last night. Is everything okay with that? Do you think it's
It's
Meredith? Um,
I mean, she said it was a male voice. So yeah, I mean, there's a number of it doesn't mean it's her. I mean, it could just be somebody who sees this all going on and wants to fuck around. It could be that. It could be some troll she directs. I mean, these are her friends. Like she wants to fuck John Barron. Like she wants, you know what I mean? Like she want like that. These are the people she surrounds herself with. It wouldn't surprise me if she got someone to do that. I don't know. I have no evidence of that. But at this point, I think she's lost all benefit of the doubt. Like, due to your other behavior, it's perfectly normal for other people to be like, yeah, you like, for instance, with the recording and shit. Like, do we have, undeniable proof that she downloaded that recording from the Facebook Messenger and sent it to Karen Reed? No, we don't have a digital trail of that, but we have overwhelming circumstantial evidence. Like, people have been convicted of murder for less. Like, so it's
right.
like you've lost all benefit of the doubt.
What is a lot of people want to know, and I wasn't sure if I had this right. How did you find out that Karen invited Meredith to go to a court hearing?
So on the when Joe Flipperhead or the koala or whatever said on the spaces, they go, so Aiden, did you get lunch with Meredith? That was like shocking to me. I'm like, that was the moment I realized, holy shit, she's working with them. And I'm like, oh my God. And Jason Broyle sends me a text and goes, hey, Meredith wants me to tell you that she told them that, that you went out. She thought Joe friended her And she confided in him that you guys went out and got lunch, but she didn't mention anything about a recording. And then next day, the True Crime Kangaroo sends me a screenshot of Meredith's text message to Joe, and there it is saying Aiden
Right.
played a recording for me, and it's like she lied. So I called her, and she gaslights me, and she's like, "Oh, leave me alone. You're so crazy. You're so nuts, like this and that." And I'm like, you. It was the ultimate feeling of betrayal. Like that stung. Like reading those messages with Joe Flipperhead, it's like, wow, you're really trying to hurt me. Wow, you really want to. I would never want to hurt you like that. Like I would never want to. Why would you do that to me? You loved me, Like you. Why would
Right.
you want to go to these people and hurt me like that? I'm on bail. I love my kids. That this is dangerous. Why would you do something like that? And it was that stung like a lot. And so she told me when I called her that she was just, and then she was just like, yeah, so I'm friends with Karen, like and I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, Aiden, I have friends independent of you. I don't need Turtle Boy. Not everybody cares about Turtle Boy. And I'm like, but you weren't friends with her before. You always asked me to text Karen, like you not, and it's just like, so I don't know how it started. And she showed me all of her text messages with Joe Flipperhead and all these other people, but she wouldn't show me her messages with Karen, and I thought that was telling, because I don't know who initiated it, how much a part Karen played in it, but I think it's pretty clear. I mean, these people, they get a whiff of Karen Reed to get close to her, and they will do anything. They'll kiss her ass, throw anyone under the bus, and she likes going to court and getting dressed up and doing the Hillary Clinton thing. She likes to do that, and she's like, she could be on TV at the Karen Reed hearing, sitting with her family, like that. That means that's sad, and that's what she wants.
I do think there's, the flipperhead stuff probably needs to be explained. I don't know if you want to come back and do this another time. Not me, like you do another part of this, but that's part of it too, because that's all around the time where Karen started interjecting with the JFK crew. You know what I mean? All of this time frame, I think that needs to be kind of like put out for people to add. I personally feel so much was talked about last night. I can't see how anybody could look at this and say, yeah, Meredith, I feel bad for her at this point. It seems like there was a very weird, calculated thing from the start. I can't see how she recovers from this. I think she needs to just tap out and go away. She's not a reporter. That's the other thing, right? You mentioned how she's like wanting to like do this and write stories and put stuff out there. That's a little weird.
Let's talk about
Um,
that for a moment. I didn't get into that. So the big thing she likes to report on is her uncle's death, right? And everyone's like,
right.
"Oh, I'm so sorry, man." She hadn't talked to him in 20 years, and neither had her fucking
What?
dad. Yeah,
What?
yeah, never met the guy. Obviously, never talked to him. Had no idea what he was doing. Barely knew him.
Okay, that's weird.
But she gets attention from it by posting.
Right.
Like, I'm reporter Meredith, like looking into this bad person and posting all these court docs. Like she was trying to be Turtle Boy. It's fucking weird.
Right. What I don't want to bring it up if it's a sore spot and you don't have to talk about it, but Mike Crawford posting the video of you this week. What are your
That
thoughts
says
on that?
that says everything about Mike Crawford. I mean, just look at him. He's having a mental breakdown and losing it and embarrassing himself every day. Three of his mods sent me a Facebook message a couple days ago saying they're so sorry. They're quitting on him. They want nothing to do with him. They're disgusted by him. You turn on his channel now, 100 people are watching. Like he went from a few thousand viewers to 100. There was a guy in a fucking giraffe suit on a show a week ago, and 50 people were watching. That is the
Right.
ultimate fuck you. Like, look at your failure. Your success was entirely from me. Without me, you are nothing. Because you are nothing. You're not talented. You're not interesting. You're not funny. You look disgusting. You have a fucking elderly girlfriend for some fucking reason. Like, you look at your life, bro. You are fucking pathetic. The fact that I even humored you, it was the greatest thing that ever fucking happened to you. You are a fucking loser, maggot, worthless piece of shit. And I'm watching him crash and burn is one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen.
I think it was a great charity offering that you gave him to elevate him and his platform. And that's all it was. Very
Yep,
nice
that's all it
charity
was.
gift that you gave him.
Yep, that's
What
all it
other
was.
thoughts are you having today? What other thoughts are you having today?
Uh, you know, about like how to handle this, like like when does this end? Like the scary part about the, and you know what else I didn't read was, maybe we do need to do a second part. Um, I didn't read Meredith's like uh the restraining order docs. Like we didn't read those. Like when you read those and you see how similar it is to what's happened to me, like it's eerie. And she didn't stop. Like after she got him fired. So first she sends in November of 2017, she sends the email to the boss pretending to be him, says, I don't want the position. He gets in trouble. Then he stays with her. And it's like, bro, that's me. You know what I mean? That's after like the March 4th incident. And I stayed with her,
Right.
you know? And then, okay, that was just one incident. And she wrote this really nice letter that was filed in court admitting to doing it and saying how sorry she was and this and that. And I liked that about her. When I read that letter, I'm like, oh, so she made a mistake and she's whatever. And then I was turned off by her because she told me, oh, yeah, he made me do that. I didn't mean any of that. And it's like, no, I liked that version of you. I liked the
Yeah.
sorry. You know what I mean? I liked but that's how she is. And she's doing the same thing now. It's just like nothing's her fault. Nothing. She is not. And just, I can talk my way out of this. So he stays with her. Then 3 months later, in February of 2018, that's when she sends a video of him doing cocaine to his bosses and he gets fired, which is fucking evil. And she's not sorry about it to this day. That's another thing she's still blamed on. Oh, he was a drug addict. You know, he did drugs all the time. And it's the same thing she's doing with me now. It's like
Yep.
she does this disgusting behavior, horrific, inexplainable behavior, and then blames it on you. You know, oh, it's
Right.
okay. It's not my fault, you know? And so then after that, she went to like a mental institution for a few weeks and then got out and she continued to fucking hack into his devices and do all this shit. And it's like, why? And eventually he had to get an order on her. And it's like, I don't want it to come to that. But like, why? Like, when does it end? And like, I just, with her, seeing how crazy it is, I can't imagine her because no one in her orbit is telling her, like, dude, you gotta stop. You know,
Right.
just move on. Just, it's okay. You know, just stop.
Well,
Like,
back it up for a second. A lot of people were saying last night when you were talking about this, like it's time for a restraining order. You seem reluctant to do that. Why? Why do you not want
I
to?
don't I don't know
Because
the grounds for, I mean, I don't know the grounds for a 209. I don't know. I just want her to go away. You know, if
right.
she goes away, then there's no problem. If she just stops, leaves me alone, then whatever. You know, but
How
if she
long did
doesn't,
that guy have a restraining order against her? How long
a
was that in
year,
place?
a year, a
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to my knowledge, she never violated it or anything like that.
Right.
But still, it's scary, you know?
I mean, that may be, I mean, we we both know if there's a restraining order in place and the potential to violate it and your bail being revoked, that might be enough for her to back want to leave her daughter behind. Would she leave her daughter and go to jail for violating a restraining order? Maybe it's necessary. I agree the 209s are different than an HPO. So I don't know if there's
Yeah.
any a
They're
lot of
easier
people
to
were
get
asking that
because, I
last
mean,
night. I saw in the comments. Why not just it's time for a restraining order?
yeah, you know, as a man, it's different. You know, the stigma of like asking, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how courts view that, but like, I just want to be left alone. And she'll just deny everything, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not me doing that. I'm not sending that. He has no proof of that. Here's like a million screenshots. Here's a fucking, 10-page long Twitter post I made explaining why that's not actually me, you know? Like, she will lie about everything. And she comes across as, of course, like, empathetic, and it's just like, I don't know. I have to talk to my lawyers because I'm scared. I'd be lying if I'm frightened of her. Like the idea that, like, I don't know if she's like, if any text message I send is being sent by her. When I go out, I'm constantly getting messages. They know my location. Like, who's doing this? It has to be her. It has, like, who else would be fucking doing this, you know?
I
And
told
it's
you it was
just,
her. She's got a
yeah.
way to track you. There's no way she knows where you are in the instances that you've told me. There's no way. She's either using your phone. There's something. I know you said, you looked into your car. She's tracking you somehow, some way. It's too niche for her to know some of these things.
Yeah, I just want it to stop. That's what I'm like. Can we just stop, Meredith? Like, let's move on. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do,
Well,
I don't
didn't
want to
you
go
do
to
that though?
court.
I mean, you guys broke up early this summer and you hadn't said a word. It got all the
Yep.
way through the summer. We're all the way through the fall. Now we're in November, December.
and obviously you tried to play nice. I thought you should have done this before because it would have stopped what was eventually going to happen. But I mean, I think you gave her long enough to just kind of say like, we're not going to do this.
Yeah,
I think
and
it was long enough.
and she justifies doing all this because Chelsea O'Neill published those videos, and I directed her to do it. I had nothing to do with Chelsea O'Neill doing that. She was her, and I didn't really get into her whole history with her, but like Meredith tormented her too, and Chelsea's like a tough broad, like she's been doing it to the other girl, Jane, who is not tough and wants nothing to do with this and is scared of her and just goes away. But Chelsea's like not taking that shit, and so she's like, oh yeah, and she's watching Meredith go on Twitter every day and do this like, oh, I'm such a good person. I just want to move on with my life and be happy. And we're sitting on fucking videos of you doing, you know what I mean? And she's like, she
Right.
just had enough. And she was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Here's what you really did. And you know what? When she posted that, I realized, I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to get blamed on me. But I'm like, you know what? I didn't do it. And I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad. Part of me was like relieved that the world gets to see who she is. Like, who does that? The evil face she made when she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to tell the police you hit me." And then she tries to explain it. Like she tries to talk her way out of it. Oh, I was just doing that because I knew I was being recorded. And like, what? Like what? Who is telling you? Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Sure. Insane.
Well,
Insane.
also too, I think like I explained it. I don't know if you were listening earlier, but like this
I
is
am.
all happening in the realm of the peak of your professional career, right? The
Yeah.
story that you brought to the public is now in court, and you also have your own charges and the threats of jail. So it's like all plus your family obligations, plus your mom passing away. Like all these things are happening at the same time, and this is I was like, she could have done so much for you. She could have supported you. I don't think she's capable of it. It doesn't sound like she's had a normal functioning relationship. I think it was really great for you to tell the story about how you met her, how you bonded with her, what it was like when you were in jail, getting out and all of those things. It helped put like some sort of context to everything. You know what I mean? And the way that it
Yeah,
played out.
you and I talked about that before, and you're like, it had to be told because the number one question would be, why would you stay with her then? So like, there
Right.
had to be because I loved her. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like because like that was the truth. It's like because I didn't want because I thought this isn't the real. You know what I mean? There's always in this. Oh, she was drunk. You know, it was just like you attempt to rationalize when you. It's just hard to accept when somebody you think is like a really great person, this perfect person, shows that they're actually a
Right.
monster, and it's just really hard for you to accept it.
What's been the hardest part of this week?
Um, just the distraction, of this all, not being able to enjoy my Thanksgiving because that's out there, not being like having to constantly monitor like what's she gonna do next to me, you know, like constantly living in fear of like what's she gonna do next, like not having the peace of mind,
Yeah.
that's been
Are
the
you live
worst part.
tonight?
Yeah, I'll be live tonight, and we'll be talking. We still
Okay.
haven't talked about Kazi G's motion, so and all
Yeah,
this
I know.
bullshit of them fucking moving my court date, and like it's another bullshit. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like why? Like it's just a joke. It's like, oh, good, I get to be on bail longer.
Right.
Awesome. And she was still helping me. It's weird. Like I like that chick from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Stakini as the wants to get the order on. Oh, by the way, the trial with her is on Thursday, December 4th, and she Meredith reached out through Jason Broyles, of course, and said and gave me a link to her tweets in which she's posting pictures about me, like the revenge porn pictures of the help, and like that's the most bizarre about it is like Meredith wants to help. At the same time,
Right.
well, she wants to hurt. Like, it's madness. It's fucking crazy. Like her whole life. And it's like being with her the whole time was just concerning online drama. This person saying this on Twitter about me. The trolls are saying that you're not getting divorced. This is embarrassing. It's like,
The trolls.
dude, just stop with the online shit, dude. Just stop. I thought you were different. I thought you were like a mature adult, like you're like, and that's what attracted to me to her is like she seemed like a mature adult, and that's what I wanted, but clearly she's not. Clearly
Yeah.
she's no different than and like whatever. Like Lindsay Gattani wears who she is on her sleeve. She can't fucking help it. You know what I mean? She can't. Like
Right.
you heard her, and
Right.
when she came out with James
I
Jackson,
know.
immediately starts screaming because that's how she fucking is,
And
and
we're
she
back.
can't. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's her. There she. You know what I mean? And she can't help. She doesn't have the ability to hide like Meredith did. You know what I mean? And which makes Meredith
Right.
scarier.
Well, I think the consensus has been, Lindsay over Meredith in this situation. Like, that's crazy. Who would have ever thought? You know what I mean? But I've
Yeah.
always felt that this story and what Meredith was doing behind the scenes, it's dangerous in a different way. You know what I mean? And so I think coming out and telling the story, I don't think you were doing it to like move public opinion over to your side. It was more about like, let me just one time come out here, explain it all, share it all, get your own opinions, do what you will, and also like take that stuff away from her. So I'm glad you did it. I know it's mentally exhausting. I think there's a little left to talk about though. I would finish it up. You know what
Really?
I mean?
Okay.
And kind of like
Like
close some loopholes. But
like a daytime daddy stream or
well, I mean,
like
ask the besties, see what they say. But I think there's some stuff there. I
I
think
mean, I
that was
guess I guess we could get it. I guess we could get into some of it tonight. I can finish up some of the
yeah.
you
I think
know.
you should. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we'll do some of that because there's a lot of screenshots and shit I didn't show that's just like
I
wild,
agree.
man. Yeah. So,
Yeah. All right,
all right.
bestie.
Anyway, going bowling.
Hang
We're
in
gonna
there.
enjoy some time off. Going to go bowling.
Oh,
So,
good.
but
Enjoy it.
we'll see
Spend
you.
time with
We'll
the
see you
fam.
guys all at night. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right. Hi, daytime daddy. We need closure. That was unexpected. That wasn't a planned thing, by the way. So I don't want anybody saying that I planned that. Um, I haven't talked to him since last night. So bowling. Can we talk about how much I regret that Cannonball wasn't on my bingo card last night? Because can you believe how much this bitch wanted to like cannonball judging contest? Can you believe like so yeah, so the following him and knowing where he is and stuff like that, kind of crazy, if you ask me. Kind of crazy. Can I take a break and go to the bathroom? Can you all just stay here and talk amongst yourselves? Is that okay? Okay, great. Give me a second. I'll be right. Also, we need to do a quick thing. Hi, I'm back. Thank you for that. I needed to go to the bathroom. I think my kids left without saying goodbye to me, and I'm probably going to be very upset about that. So we'll go back to regularly scheduled program in a second. But like, if my kids did not say goodbye,
Hello?
did you guys leave?
Yeah,
You didn't say goodbye.
you were on your show. I texted you.
So you can come in and say goodbye.
We didn't know that.
Come on. Did you take Dad's stuffing?
No.
Are you there yet?
We're at Cundy's.
In Somerset?
Yeah.
Do you want to come back for the stuffing for Dad?
Not really. He's not even gonna like it. It's not the one you make.
Okay. Do you have your seatbelts on?
No,
All right, what time? All right, I'll call you after the show, but you didn't even say goodbye. I'm upset.
We didn't think we could come in.
You can come in.
Okay.
All right, I love you. All right, have a good day. Bye. Did somebody say what baby daddy is this? Number 7. I only have 2 baby daddies. Thank you very much. And I love them both. These fucking kids didn't even come and say goodbye. Oh, he did text me. We're leaving now. Let's see if all right, so okay, so how are we feeling about everything? How's everybody feeling about everything that happened? I personally do think there's a little bit more to go over. I haven't looked at her stuff this morning. I don't know what she's doing. Let's look at some of these messages and see if people he was never able to properly enjoy his victory. We read that one. Goose on the Loose since 499, and she says, I know I'm a few minutes behind, but what do you think of Meredith calling Julie during the stream? Oh, I think we talked about that. Not sure who it was, but I don't think that there's coincidences in this whole thing. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion. Cyber Chick, our queen, sends 999, and she says, I'm questioning my time management skills. Who has the time for all of these shenanigans? The recording, the screenshots, the tweeting, the fighting. I don't know if I should be impressed or horrified. I think there are times in your life where you're all in on something, right? Like all in on something. I remember when I was trying to like fight to like add SROs to the schools here, I was like really obsessed with it. And I spent a lot of time doing like this kind of stuff. And like, it is what it is. This is a little different. And also we talked about it with that kind of salary and that kind of money, I would not be spending my time doing this. You wouldn't know I made $200,000 a year, but there would be signs. It's such a betrayal, Lori says for $2. Thank you so much. Ultimate betrayal. Lacey gifted 1 Jess Machado show membership. Thank you. Also became a YouTube member. Hi, bestie. Thanks for joining us here. Also Mermaid Mary. I love Mermaid Mary. Hi. Thank you so much for these. Glad Aiden has you and Jimmy to help ground him. Can't say we're the best of influences, but I pride myself on supporting him. Mariah Cheyenne says 199 and says the T-Swift obsession is Disney adult adjacent. I don't want to say anything mean to people who love the Disney lifestyle as adults. Just so you know, I don't want, you can live your own life, okay? I just want to let you know I don't like it. The people that, and this is not based on like a blanket, like people who do it, the people who I know who are Disney obsessed as adults are creeps. They also happen to not have any kids. And so maybe we have to like do a subgenre of these people, but like the people who love Disney and don't have kids are weird. And this whole thing with the Taylor Swift obsession, again, we've already talked about this. It's completely normal and cathartic to have songs that connect with you and make you feel a certain way. And like sometimes you have to take songs and like you have to change a little bit about it to really make it about your story. Fine. Rage, sing that in the car all you want. That playing that song in the background, posting that link on all of these Taylor Swift like gifts in the big win last night with Aiden. You think? She's a loser guy. $77 years old, love a socialist dog. I just can't. I can't. Tell us how you really feel about Mike Crawford, Aiden. Jess, you are simply the best. MKLS716 sends $10 and said, you're simply the best. I wish you were my friend.
What was something not said last night that you think should have been mentioned? Sorry if repetitive, came in late. I definitely think the Joe Flipperhead storyline should be told because it's another level of betrayal. So I was a little disappointed we didn't get to put that picture together. Not we, he didn't, but I was, I gave my feedback on things that I think should have been said and should not have been said. I was a big proponent for telling the backstory. I also think it humanized her a little bit, which I think is important, and humanized him. But the trauma bond part was like, I was really gunning for that to be out there because everybody has a story on how they start a relationship, even when it ends badly. But him being in jail, I guess we could go out and find some other people who have been in jail and bonded with people who were on the outside waiting for them to come out. And talk to them about it. Maybe this is a common thing. I'm sure it is. There were 2,200 people in this chat. Like, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Are there really? Appeals are made for walk-in, $4.99. Was the recording that came out with Aiden and Karen talking recorded by Meredith and sent to Karen? I will feel comfortable talking about this because I think it was clear and discussed last night. There was a recording that Aiden recorded on his Facebook Messenger to memorialize it for himself. And I'm not judging anybody for doing that. I will tell you so this comes to mind. I did disclose to Ken Mello that I was recording my interview with him when I called him and I talked to him. Okay. But I can tell you, like, there have been times where I've spoken to people about a story or whatever, and I wish I had recorded it. I wish I had recorded it so I could go back and write the notes to it. Because sometimes I write notes. I'm old school. Like if I'm interviewing somebody, I write notes. With the Ken Mello interview, I knew there were going to be things that were really important and I didn't want to miss. So I asked him if I could record it. I'm not judging Aiden on, first of all, we're talking about wiretapping, which is legal in like all of the states except for a handful. So to me, this is a legislative issue. Wiretapping, you should be allowed to record somebody without two-party consent. I think the expectation when you're talking to somebody is that you're being recorded, especially in 2025. Do you know what I mean? So you're being recorded on your fucking phone by fucking China. You're being recorded through your Alexas. Like you're already being recorded. You know it better than anybody. I'm talking to somebody right now about like Trader Joe's and pops up a Trader Joe's, ad on my phone. You're already being recorded. So it should be legal here. I'm not going to judge. Listen, I knew about the audio. I live in a space here where we don't lie about shit. I knew about the audio. She's releasing it last night. She's saying, "Here's who knew." Yeah, damn right. I knew that's how it went down. I get it. People have reasons to not being honest and not telling the truth, but it feels very fucking free to just be like, "Hey, by the way, I said that there was a recording and I heard it, and now here we are months later, and like, yeah, I'm still in that same space." What happened, I believe, in my opinion, based on all of the things I know, is that this recording was meant for personal use to have and shared with people. I will tell you exactly how it went down. I heard the audio and I got a better understanding of Karen through that. And what happened is Meredith took that audio through Facebook Messenger that she had access to. And then I believe shared it anonymously to Karen and her team. And then later, like, was telling Karen like about it because she heard it through Aiden. Like the timeline of it. I mean, I guess he could break that down a little bit better, but that's what happened. She saw it there. She took it. She sent it anonymously. She didn't want it to be her. She's like, okay, I'm just going to send it. And then she talked about it and then with him and then she could talk. So she waited until she saw him and talked to him. And then she like, said, oh, to Karen, this and this and this. Like,
always been her. Nobody else has access to his Facebook. And the only thing I can say, there's a part here that may not be discussed. And I've wondered about this. Has she given Jason Broyles her password to the Facebook account and it's Broyles? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past. I'm not really sure. I would like to think she doesn't want people to know that she's had access to his Facebook and his Facebook Messenger. The thing that Aiden talked about, I think it was last night, resonates very much with me. I use Facebook Messenger all the time to send myself shit. It is like a vessel to get information from one device to another. I did it here when I was like, oh, I got to write notes. I sent the message to myself. And like I said, it's not a joke, but there's a reason why I change my passwords like every Monday morning. I'm paranoid. I have like tons of leads and stories and like people who give me shit about stuff going down in Fall River. I don't want anybody to know that stuff. You know what I mean? Like people lose their jobs. So yeah, let's keep going with these. Thank you, by the way. He exposed Meredith is now just pure bliss. She's a loser. Thank you for these. $9.99. You thought she was your safe place to land. I'm sorry you didn't get that. In the shaft of the evening, only give half the shaft. So proud of you. This was a message for Aiden, I'm assuming. Miss Lily sends $4.99 and she says there was only one rate from Dallas. We love TB. We love Jess, Jimmy, Nurse Kim, Glare, Rat House, period. I won bingo. Bingo card was a hit. Bingo card was a hit. We didn't fill that whole card. Thank you for that. Melissa Hendricks says $9.99. She says, when does Meredith stop like Aiden said? Great question. What's the end game? I'm not really sure. This is different. That other guy was anonymous. Nobody knows him. He's not famous. There's no fame attached to that relationship. And she moved on and it ended. There is a residual thing that's going to perpetuate here. And it's the fandom, the people that follow her, the people that hate him so much. She's going to be their patron. She's going to be the patron saint of the people that hate Aiden. What a fucking legacy. What a legacy. You could have had a different legacy. Your legacy could have been you broke up and despite the odds, you maintained a friendship with him. You stood by him. You helped him like he said, and you just let it go. But this weird insecurity thing, it prevented you from doing that. And then I really do believe there was just something not right there that allowed you to like do all of this other crazy stuff. There's just something wrong. There's something wrong there. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member, friend, bestie. Welcome. If anyone has the rights to the movie about him, they must be freaking out now because this is like a misery level movie material. Got that right. Lizzie Bones 787 cents $4.99. She says, do you think she will send all of her recordings she has to Karen for more leverage? Well, he did mention that obviously he's a little worried like that she had been secretly recording things. At that point, it's time to take legal action. I am a little wondering why he doesn't want to go and get a restraining order. And him saying, I don't know like what that's like. I'm not really sure. I'm wondering what the apprehension is. I don't think I asked that question. I mean, I didn't want to try to be a reporter there but I did have a lot of questions to ask him, but I'm wondering why there's some apprehension because there are a couple of things that people seem to be pushing back on. Why aren't you getting a restraining order and getting the cops involved? Why aren't you changing your passwords? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see a couple of comments. A couple of comments. I feel it was the right thing to do, what he did last night. I'm not sure if anybody feels it should have never happened. But in the meantime, let me ask a friend of mine if he thinks it was the right thing to do last night.
What's up, Jess?
Good morning.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Did you stay for the whole thing last night?
Yeah, I did. Shockingly enough. It's very rare that live streams can keep my attention for that long. Even Aiden's. And his are the ones that I listen to the most often as far as all the way through goes. And I almost never even do that. just because I just don't have the attention span
Oh,
for
my husband wants to say hi to you, Will.
it. What's up, Jeff?
Hey,
I'm just gonna finish this and I'll come get that.
did the laundry so you could have free speech.
Thank you. Jeff did the laundry. Good.
So you can have free speech. He's
Free speech. Thank
he's
you.
a crusader
You're a crusader, he said. The
for free
besties are
speech.
saying hi to you.
Slice my knuckle
Okay, I'll close the door, take the dog, and I'll be done in a second. Sorry, Will. Give me 1 sec.
No, you're
Everybody's
good,
saying
man.
hi, Jeff. Wait, the dog. Take
Sorry,
the dog.
Will. Sorry, Will. I did this on purpose.
He did it on purpose, he said.
I would too. It's all good.
All right, so you were on all
I
night.
like Will. Will's a good guy.
Oh.
I can already tell.
Jeff likes you already. I know you would actually. You love Will.
Yeah.
Jeff approves.
Right on.
So did you think it needed to be done? Did you think this was something he had to do?
Last night's stream.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something for Aiden to decide whether it needed to be done or not. But I feel like I don't think it hurt him in any way.
Right.
That's for sure. I think that the circumstances and the evidence dictate that she's obviously the aggressor. Clearly sociopathic tendencies, easy. Doesn't really care what her about her chaos and who it affects, and simply just wants to be an agent of chaos for God knows whatever reason. I've known the type, I've seen the type, I've dated the type, I've been practically married to the type. As a matter of fact, she is next level scary. And it seems like the stuff that she threatened him with has the, I mean, it's always the Streisand effect with Aiden and people who are trying to hurt him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's always the Streisand effect, which I'm now going to start calling the Turtle Boy effect, because
It's true though, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, because like they try to hurt him and then it always backfires, you know? And the thing is like, sure, is stuff like that technically embarrassing, that she was threatening to I wouldn't want people to know that stuff, but the reason why I wouldn't want people to know that stuff about me is because it's simply private.
Right.
That's all. He didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like the stuff about sexting, about Karen Reed or whatever, that's not, you know, evil or bad or anything like that. That's just, it's kind of embarrassing. But the bottom line is it was private.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so what it looks like is that she, all it looks like is that she invaded his privacy and used things that he relied on being private to attack him and hurt him and weaponize against him. She's the aggressor. She's the abuser.
I think
That's
people
it,
have a
as far
hard
as I'm
time
concerned.
thinking of that though. Like the abuser part of it. I mean, just like society overall just makes you think that like men are the abusers and women can't be. And I'm not sure like we've ever seen like a really clear example of, you know, someone acting this way from a female perspective. You know, showing him at his lowest of lows, you know, crying about going back to jail. I'm sure he shared with you, like he was so apprehensive about that being out there. Said it made him look so weak and so bad. And I was like, what do you mean? Like,
No, dude.
that is designed to make people think that of you. But like, who wouldn't get upset about someone threatening and saying, I'm calling the cops and saying you hit me and you're going back to jail, and like leveraging that against him? Like, I try to like be very honest with them and say like, here's what I think. Here's what I don't think. I never once thought that was going to make him look like some sort of pussy. I was just like, dude,
Not
yeah,
even a little
you
bit.
might be going back to jail, you know?
You know what would have made him look like a pussy is if you would have hit her. You know, if he would have been screaming and yelling, throwing stuff around the apartment, blah, 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 you know?
So how come we
Like,
never see that? You know what I mean? Because isn't that really like nobody's taught? That's such a great point. Well, like,
Well-
where is that?
well, it's interesting that you bring that up, because one might argue, well, Aiden is usually the one recording, so of course he's not going to do that. But in this case, he didn't even know he was being recorded.
Yep.
And in an instance where he didn't know he was being recorded, didn't see that coming at all whatsoever. And the most embarrassing thing is him begging you to leave him alone and hide his face into a pillow and say, please.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, Jess, is I was with them that night. Okay. I was with them that night. We were all hanging out. Now I wasn't there in that apartment, but I was with them earlier that night. And Meredith acted like a complete and total asshole. Okay. Now, at first, everyone kind of felt bad for her. She was upset about something, blah, blah, blah. She was crying and whatever. But then, once we got into the parking lot, Aiden just waited in the Uber that they were going to take home. He just waited patiently. The Uber driver waited patiently while she acted like a complete and utter asshole. And me and Lauren were just like, yo, just go home. Just get in the car and go home. What are you doing? She was, I mean, that's when I realized, that's where my red flags went up. Because I was like, this is not the person that I thought she was at all. And then I just kind of let that go. And I was just like, okay, well, she had a bad night. She's going through a thing because she's been drinking,
Right.
you know, but it was, and you'll see it in the video too. It's her smile. Like she had this very, very disturbing smile while she was saying the most evil shit. And I was just like, wow, this is, yeah, like I've seen this before. Like she scares the shit. Like she brings up shit from my past that I'm just like, oh my God, like this. I don't like to use the word triggered, but it's a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking thing. Like I have never, ever laid my hands on a woman in my life, but I, for some reason, have this fucking thing in my DNA like Aiden does, where I always end up with women like that, you know, which is why, I mean, now I'm 50 years old. Now I'm like, I'm scared of getting involved in a relationship with somebody, in a serious relationship. I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just trying to like explain how I relate. Right. I'm just trying to give my insight based on the things that I've experienced and I know.
Right.
And you know, like, and I know that what a woman will do when you are, you know, because me personally, I was talking about this on my members only earlier. I'm the kind of person that like people will call an asshole. They'll be like, dude, Claire's such a fucking dick because I'm so direct and because I'm so, but there's this last night situation caused me to kind of reflect, because Aiden's kind of the same way. You know what I mean? He's like, people are like, God, he's so abrasive and he's such a dick and he's such an asshole. Well, did anybody ever stop to consider that possibly it's because he's like that is because he wants to give you the whole what you see is what you get. Because the Aiden that I know behind the scenes, that's not on a YouTube channel, being with all the hyperbole, with all of, I know, I'm joking. I with all of that shit, I know Aiden behind the scenes. I know that when I was having practically a fucking panic attack about a month or two ago, he was like, dude, just breathe. He was like, you would think the guy on YouTube is going to be like, dude, get your fucking shit together. You're acting like a pussy. What's wrong with you? He wasn't like that at all. He was absolutely empathetic. He was absolutely understanding. He was just like, dude, just breathe for a second. This is not as bad as it seems. Let's just, you know, and it was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? But I saw that what was comforting about that was that I saw that Aiden is actually a really solid dude. You know what I mean? That he actually does care about his friends, and he actually does care about the people that he cares about, that he says that he cares about.
Well, I will
But he,
interrupt you and say I don't think those opportunities come up often because of his life and what goes on. There's so much that he needs his friends for. You know what I mean? So I think it's very rare that those opportunities where the script is flipped and he needs to be the person to kind of help or elevate. But I think that's a great example of him being able to do that. And, he checked on me when I was going through some stuff last week. He's like, just checking in. You okay? Wellness check type stuff.
yeah,
Um, so let me ask you a question. Because so the night that this whole thing happened, you're saying that she was just being, really ridiculous and crazy. You were at court the next day, right? You were here for
mhm,
that hearing. Was
mhm.
it weird for you to see her now at court and acting professional and, doing the duty as first turtle wife and stuff like that? What's that like?
She wasn't there at court at first. She didn't go with him to court. She
Okay.
showed up after court was over, if I remember correctly. I don't
Okay.
at least I don't remember seeing her until after we were outside the courthouse
Okay.
afterwards. And she was actually apologetic, like, oh God, I'm so embarrassed about last night, blah, blah, blah. She was like that, and of course I was just like, dude, we all have those, everybody at one point or another shows their ass when they get drunk.
Yeah.
It happens,
Yeah.
so I wasn't about to judge her for that. But I did see what I saw. It wasn't so much what she was acting like. It was her eyes behind how she was acting that
Well, we saw the
made me
video,
take
the,
notice.
the
Right.
clip, the clip of the video where he's on the stairs and she says she's going to say that she's going to call the cops and say that he hit her or when he was hitting
Right.
her. And that
And
fucking dead
the
eyes,
the
half
smile.
smile is crazy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's the look she had when I mean, I don't want to get into it because she was actually addressing me about something at one point, and it was just like, yeah, and I was just frozen when she was doing it because I was like, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Like I have been practically married to that before.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was even in a position where I was just kind of like, does Aiden see this? Does he know that has she shown her crazy to him yet? Is he, and then sure enough, I mean, it was crazy when he's telling me that story, that like he never told me until I think it was yesterday morning, or the day before yesterday, maybe, where we were on the phone and he's telling me, like when we got in the car the whole time, she is verbally abusing me the whole time. She's yelling at me, she's calling me names, she's telling me that I'm not a man, blah 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 blah. And I had full on deja vu. Like I've actually told this story on my channel before where this woman was doing that very same shit to me. And then she was driving though. And we got pulled over by the cops and she went to jail for a DUI. And I was like, ha, because she was so mean and I was just sitting there like, dude, why is she like this? What? Am I that bad? Blah, blah, blah. You do all this shit. Like every bad thing that anybody says about you online, I would imagine comes back to Aiden and goes, am I? And he starts questioning himself because you've got the person that you care about the most telling you how bad of a person you are and how shitty you are and how worthless you are and how it's all a fucking illusion and you have all these people fooled, but you don't have me fooled and blah, 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 blah. And that is some serious gaslighting, mental and emotional abuse.
Do you need me to run a self-esteem clinic so you can work on your self-esteem? I say that this is rooted in like a certain level of like him not really thinking he deserves better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I hate to say it, and I don't want to come from a point of like bragging or whatever, but like when a relationship doesn't work, it's time to move on and like figure it out. Maybe it takes you a couple times, but like you guys need to work on your self-esteem. You need to like say, hey,
well, that's what I
don't
do
want
all the
this.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm being productive about it, like I have, dude, I am all fucked up in the head. I'm telling you right now, like I don't even try to hide it. Ask anybody who watches my channel. I'm very, very open about my mental health issues. But I also take pride in the methods that I choose to manage it. And
Well, let
so,
me
yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I have some serious self-esteem issues. I have some serious fucking confidence issues. I don't come off like that because I can't afford to be not confident when you do what we do.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I have serious confidence issues. I don't deny that. I
We can do
also,
a whole show on this. We could
well,
ask questions, work you through
well,
it.
no,
It's
because
a
I don't want
common
to get
theme
that deep
here.
into it. I have like, I mean, I have serious abandonment issues that I'll never get into details about, like, so my point is maybe Aiden has stuff in his childhood that he just feels is
Yeah,
nobody's business and he never wants to discuss. And our place is to just be like, okay, well, everybody has their shit
yeah.
and you just fucking deal, and here we are. We're here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I choose to handle my friendship with him. If he wants to talk to me about shit, I'm gonna listen, and that's
Yep.
it. You know what I mean?
Let's talk a little bit about last night. Was there anything that you thought, well, I'm assuming you know everything that was said, right? Everything you've already heard before. Was there anything that you didn't know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, a
really?
lot of it. Yeah, I didn't
What?
know about the ex.
Oh,
I didn't know about her, the stuff that she did to him and how he had to take a restraining order out on her.
yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Okay.
That's just pure evil, like what she did to him.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like I find myself like I'm just like, man, I go the first thought I go to in my own head is just, dude, I would have dumped her right then and there.
Right.
But then it's like,
Would you?
that's right, right, right. Can I honestly say that I would have? I don't
Right.
know their dynamic. I don't know what
Right.
kind of manipulation tactics that he was subjected to every single day of every single minute he was with her. Yeah, I don't know because I know what it's like to be that. I know anybody who's ever been in an abusive relationship in this chat knows that there is, when you're in an abusive relationship, the abuse is constant. It just might be mental, it might be emotional, it might be physical, it might be, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
I
it's
also think too,
always there.
he talked, I think he was saying like, they would break up and then they'd reconnect for a court date because he didn't want to go alone. He needed a support system like that in the courtroom at the court dates. You know what I mean? Like it kept coming back and like maybe dogging like this whole trial and stuff alone would have been too much for him. You know what I mean? Like maybe he didn't I mean, I don't want to speculate. I never once said you should have broke up with her sooner. This should have been done sooner. You know what I mean? Like that needed to work itself out. This is a completely different scenario for him though, because he's a public figure. He's facing criminal charges. Like this whole thing with her, everybody's asking, I see the comments this morning, like, what's the end game? How is this going to end? I don't really know. I think it's going to drag on a little bit longer. I personally think the only way it will stop is with a restraining order. I think if she is beholden to the law and she has to stop doing A, B, C, and D, and the risk would be if she continued, she would go to jail and leave her daughter. I would hope that that would be enough for her. And that would change behaviors. I think he should really look into it. I know it sucks, but I think that's the only way. It seems
I
to me how it stopped with the ex, unfortunately.
I don't think you're wrong at all, but I also feel like Aiden, I mean, I don't think you can deny this. Aiden's just not the kind of person you give advice to.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's he's just not the kind of guy that's going to be receptive of advice necessarily.
Right.
So, we're kind of in a position like being like when you like me personally, when I decided like, to feel comfortable, like, because I'm very careful of who I use the word friend to describe someone.
Right.
Like I have a very tight like circle, you know what I mean, of people that I allow myself to be like, all right, I'm gonna have this person's back. That's it,
Right.
And so once I realized that was the level that Aiden and I had finally reached at some point, I was like, well, okay, what that means basically is, he's gonna do what he does. There are boundaries, and the best way to manage a friendship with him is to just let him do what he does and try to be there. If it goes good, be there to celebrate. If it goes bad, be there to console. That's all you can do.
Yep. I like to
And
play the devil's advocate sometimes with him. I like to like throw the scenario out there from the other perspective, just to like pause and like I don't think you can always say like yes or just like let him. I always try to like just say the other side. Like what do we see about this and how like before he did the live stream, what does it look like if you don't do this? Is there an end game here? What are the repercussions if you say nothing at all? You know what I mean? And I think like you work it out and you're like, yeah, I mean, you got to go forward with it and do it. I think, overall, I think at the end of the day, this is like a relationship that ended, but it's in a public eye and it's got like a lot of eyes on it as far as like the Karen side of things, the legal side of things or whatever. And I think unfortunately there's like some sort of like mental illness there with Meredith that is like unfortunately he never saw that and I think it sucks for him that he saw it, and too late.
I mean, I think Jimmy nailed it on the head last night when he described it because I felt exactly the same thing. Like I knew exactly, like I was in, like I'm watching the stream and me and Jimmy were like this. I'm telling you right now, when he explained she is absolutely a predator. Her past dictates this, which absolutely supports what is undeniable that she
Right.
targeted him in his most vulnerable state, consciously decided to do this, Jess.
I
She
know.
saw that he was in a vulnerable state by being in jail. He is basically, metaphorically speaking, in a dark box with no light coming in except a little crack. And then a little sunlight came in, and that was Meredith. And he was like, I'll take all that sun, as much of that as I can get. And he was like a crack fiend for that sunlight coming through that little crack. You know what I mean?
It's actually so sad. It's so sad.
It's fucked up. It's so, I'm sorry for cussing so much on your channel. I don't know how you feel
can
about
cuss
the
on this channel all day. It's fine.
All right. I just, this really hits home to me. So I get fired up. And what she did was absolutely calculated. It was absolutely, she targeted him. She preyed on him, targeted him, and executed. That note that he read out loud, that first letter that she wrote to him, was a fucking sales pitch. Let's get real. She pitched herself to him. And he
is good at that stuff. Like he's talked about that. Like the way she writes, the thing she does. I don't know if anybody else is picking up on it because I've seen now under two different circumstances, kind of like these like Google Sheets or like Google slide decks that she's putting together with screenshots and words and screenshots and words. And like, she's very good at like framing things, putting it together, making it look a certain way. And when he read that, it was, how could that not be like attractive or a ray of light or something to look forward to or hope? You know what I mean? My only issue I have is that Tina and Courtney had her clocked right at the beginning and he got that information and he was just like, no way. You know what I mean? Like it was right there. Like, I'm not saying you should have listened to them or whatever, but like, oh, it was right there. You know what I mean? And he just glazed over it, gave her a second chance. And unfortunately it led to this.
This is why it was so calculated. This is why, because she was there for him in his most vulnerable state and made him emotionally dependent on her. Therefore, the more shit that came out later on, the easier it was for Aiden to be able to go, well, maybe, and then rationalize it and justify it and back her up and try to see things from her perspective and take her side. And also, there's also the pattern of everything that he does is wrong, right?
Right.
So she's always, you always do this and you make me feel like this and you always do that to me and you always do that to me. And he is in a place where he is like, this is the person who was there for me when no one else was while I was in jail. And I don't want her to feel upset and I don't want her to feel like I'm failing her. She deserves better than that from me. What can I do to make her better and make her feel more like I care as much as I honestly do?
Right.
And this is a constant thing. This is the leash that she keeps on him. This is the handcuffs she has on him, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there's no getting out of that, because he's always in a place in his mind where he is, I'm questioning if I'm a good person. I know I love this person, and for some reason she doesn't feel like I'm loving her the right way. What can I do? And you're constantly pleading with this person, and this person is like with their foot on you. I got you, motherfucker. The second when he read that, and he explained yesterday, when he read that first letter, and then he explained yesterday that it evolved to where he goes, I think I'm having feelings for you.
Yeah.
That was the moment I pictured Meredith in my mind going, got you, motherfucker. Got you. You're mine.
Yeah.
She locked him right there. And then
I don't
from
think
then
she
on
ever really, not to interrupt your flow on that, but I don't know if she ever really like loved him. You know what I mean? Like it seems
she's
like
not capable of love.
there's
She's
a
not
very
capable of love.
serious disconnect there. You know what I mean? Of like, I'm just not sure what I was seeing there. And I agree with you. I want to go back to the part that, you know, I think when they made a decision, he made the decision to break it off with her and end the relationship, which in this country, everybody has the right to do, the freedom to end a relationship. Sometimes it takes a couple times, right? He talked about how they broke up so many times and they were on a break or whatever, but that eventually goes away, right? And you finally get to that point. And what happened? It was they had an agreement to be cordial to each other, not to drag each other, not to do anything. And I think all summer long, all fall long, he did that. He abided by that. I know many times I was like, it's the gloves are off. Like, go say something, right? And he didn't, and he didn't, and didn't. And what is she doing? She's breaking into his phone. She's following him around. She's stealing his shit. And he still was quiet. You know what I mean? He still kind of was just like behind the scenes. I'm sure you know he was just like the fuck. But then I'm just
did he ask you as a favor, like he asked me, to not talk about Meredith because he wanted to protect her?
He did
because he absolutely did that. Sorry, Aiden, if that's fucking, but yeah, that's what happened. And I was like, dude, Meredith is behind this whole shit. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, I know, but
yes,
please,
I wanted to say
you,
something at the time of the recording. I wanted to be able to say everything about the Facebook page. I wanted to say out, and he was like, you know, I'm sure he said exactly to you what he said to me. He said, I'm scared of her. I can't deal with that. I'm not saying, don't say anything. And I was like, say the word when I can. Say the word when I can. And it was never going to be my place, but it was hard to fucking listen to and hard to know. And also, by the way, like, I want to tell all of you, like, I want to tell all of these people what I know so they can all start moving away from that. You know what I mean? Like, get away from her. Like, she's fucking nuts. And so, yes, the other
most
scenario
toxic person
too
in this community, easily the nucleus behind all of the trouble in this community in the last couple of months. 100%.
The part of the story that's being pushed on her page that, like, you know, he was telling me what to say this week or whatever. First of all, nobody tells me what to do. If Aiden told me to do something, I would be suspicious of that. And for the record, he has never told me to say or do anything. He has never called me and said, could you do this or could you do that? It's actually the opposite. I was running my mouth about the recording one day and he was calling me and he was like, please fucking stop talking. Like, I never got a go ahead. I never was handed a script ever. He doesn't control me. And if anything, if there was any control, I was a little pissed that Chelsea dropped the video because I wanted to drop the video. I wanted to be able to put that out there. And I was like, I don't know what I was doing. It was Thanksgiving or shit. And I was like, bitch, put that video out. I've had that for months. I want to share this. It needed to be out there. So no, he doesn't tell me what to do. He has asked me to refrain. My thing was he always wanted to keep it copacetic. In the beginning, when they first broke up, I genuinely believed that he was like, we're going to do this together as a team and we're not going to talk about the breakup and stuff like that. As time went on, I felt it was more coming from a place of being scared of her. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, I think he was like, okay, it's going to be great and copacetic. Then it was like, I'm not saying anything because I'm fucking scared of her. Then it started turning into, wait a second, things aren't adding up. My shit is getting hacked. She's got access. She's following me. And then I think it was only a matter of time before he
Yeah, honestly, the hacking stuff started. He started talking about that to me after he was just genuinely like, I don't want to talk bad about her. I don't want to. I just want to have a nice clean break, move on, let her move on. That's where his mind was, at least at when he was talking to me about it. You know, I feel as though she is the most dangerous kind of crazy because she's calculated. She is she plans. It's I mean, I feel like absolutely Aiden was a project. I don't think that she is capable of love. I don't think people like her are capable of love or empathy for others. I think that if she apologizes, because I've seen this with her a lot too, where she'll say something and threaten and say something really nasty and then threaten somebody and then apologize.
Yeah.
And then go and do it after she apologized, like, oh no, I'm sorry. But the apology is not because she's like, oh my God, how am I making these people feel? What am I doing to these people? That's not where that's coming from. The apology is, oh my God, how do I look to these people? I
Right.
must look. I feel like I look crazy because I'm acting crazy. She's losing control. She's lost control. Once she lost Aiden, she lost control, and she no longer had the control of the act. She became uncalibrated. And it became chaotic.
Anytime the attention shifted away from her, which by the way were in completely appropriate times. You know what I mean? You know, death of his mother, a court hearing, you know, stuff with these cases and all this stuff. There was this leveraging of power and emotional warfare. And I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know if anybody knows someone like her, but I think we all recognize like the behaviors and how dangerous it was. I hope that this has been just like a kind of like a start to moving past. I don't think there was ever really a movement to get away from her. The being cordial to each other, I think, was just kind of perpetuating this. This needed to happen. There needed to be a straight draw line in the sand. And I think, you know, they're going to take a little time here to get past it. But this was just delaying the inevitable. This was going to blow up. And on top of it, the anxiety of always waiting for that to happen. You know what I mean? The shit that he was worried about. You know, the text, right, about him and like, you know, tag teaming with Karen Reed and that other girl, right? He didn't want people to be talking about that, but he was worried about it. He's like, you know, and how she threatened about Bill Reed seeing it and shit. Like, you know what? Who cares? It's there. You said it first. Now she can't drop it in some sort of long-winded fucking Twitter. By the way, as much as I get like her, you know, popularity or platform, she is getting zero traction on these things. This is the only platform she has. It's not like she's going to a place, you know, like Nacho Night on Monday and going to sit there and get everybody to sympathize with her. What does she have here? She's got a platform where 8-9 people are commenting her. Half of them are bots. Half of them are anti-Aiden people. You know, there's a couple people in my chat that are like, you know, fans of you, fans of me, but like sympathize with her. Okay, but we want I said this before, we want our enemies to have good lives and good people around them. Meredith needs a good friend. She needs, because when you have a good friend.
No, she doesn't. I disagree 100% with that. I think that when she has a good friend, she's going to use that friend the same way she does Aiden. She doesn't value relationships. She looks at things as, what can I get from that? That's it. How can I suck it dry? How can I drain it and move on to the next thing?
I always say I want my enemies
to do. What she simply wanted to do with Aiden was to have a status on social media. That is it. That's it. She wanted to be, she looked at this as some sort of hierarchy, and that she was going to be Queen Turtle and have all of this notoriety from it. And when it was taken from her simply by being broken up with, she lost control. And the more she became exposed in her behavior, the more this happened, the more control she lost, because her whole bread and butter in the whole this is deception. And when she has nothing to deceive you with anymore, she's going to unravel. And that's exactly what we saw happen last night all over Twitter.
This is
while
why,
Aiden
though,
was live.
I know you, but hear me out on this. When my like adversaries have nobody and they're spiraling and they have no friend or anything like that,
I love it.
But that's when they're at their worst towards me. That's when the online attacks happen most. That's when like they start like digging into my past and all these things like that. Like when they have friends, when they're going out and having dinner, when they're, I feel like I want my enemies to thrive so that they can focus on their lives and not me.
I agree. Like take LTL for instance. I didn't even have to say shit while we were on the JFK channel. Remember that? He made himself look like an ass. He completely showed his own ass. I didn't even have to say shit. I just had to ask him questions like, what are you saying? What? That's all I had to do. And then he showed his own ass. And then what? Guess what? He started to thrive because he's not a sociopath. He's just fucking delusional, dude. You know what I mean? Like
Did you say he started to thrive?
I thought that he started to take the right steps too. I think that he chose the right path to go after that. Like, okay, well, fuck, you know what I'm gonna do? These motherfuckers say I'm not a journalist. I'm gonna start FOIAing documents that nobody else has, and I'm gonna start going over them.
Fair enough.
I was like, fuck yeah, kick ass, dude. Right on, Brian. That earned some respect with me, dude.
Fair enough. But don't you feel that there is the only way, I feel the only way to win in this game of content creation is to be open, honest, vulnerable, authentic. And there's a missing piece there with Brian. The matchmaker in me is thinking Brian and Meredith are like a match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. I really do see it. But there's a lack of authenticity. I think that just isn't going to go anywhere. Same thing with Crawford, you know what I mean? Like it's just not authentic. It's wishy-washy.
You can't, dude. That's what I've been saying on my channel, dude. Either you got the juice or you don't, dude.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers got no juice. You got juice. Nurse Kim's got juice. Jimmy's got juice. Aiden's got the juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't fake that shit. You know what I'm saying?
When is it going to be fun here? When is it going to be fun here? Jimmy and I have been talking about making it fun. When is this going to get fun?
It's about to. Like we're already doing it. We're already doing it. Like we're covering the right shit. We still got Turtle Boys to free. We got Kelsey Fitzsimmons to free. We're still rocking. Nurse Kim is out there fucking rocking, dude. Nurse Kim is out there getting on court TV, fucking representing.
I saw that.
Like she's dope. Like everybody, Jimmy's fucking kicking ass, and Jimmy gets petty, but the community needs a little petty. Sitting here and acting like these things don't happen and like we don't have these discourses, fucking bullshit. Why not talk about it? Why not keep it out in on Front Street instead of acting like it's an elephant in the room? Why, you know what I'm saying? Sit here and act like it's drama. Okay, yeah, there's drama in everything. You follow true crime cases, assholes, because there's drama involved in the crime case. Get out of my face with that.
Speaking of drama, you put up a post about me.
When? Maybe.
On Facebook.
Okay.
We want to hash it out.
What did that was a while ago, and I remember posting something negative about you. I just don't remember what it said.
I don't know either. But I think I think people can move on from things if they're all coming from the right place. And you know what I mean? I know, I maybe threw you under the bus there in the effort to be open and honest and transparent. And I wasn't necessarily thinking of you and Kim and maybe some other people when I was doing that. It's not an excuse, but I don't know if I was being fair all around. And so I apologize for maybe putting you in a tough predicament there. Lesson learned.
I appreciate that. No, and I mean that. I appreciate that. Seriously. Like I've always liked you, Jess. We've always gotten along. I was a little surprised when it happened. Because the thing is like I'm telling you right now, I didn't hear any goddamn recording. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't give a fuck what anything that comes from Aiden's devices while Meredith was with him is unreliable. Period. I deny any fucking involvement in anything that has anything to do with any fucking recording altogether. I know, as far as I know, Nurse Kim does as well. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why the fuck everybody's coming after Nurse Kim. Like Nurse Kim has been nothing but a gem this entire time. She's loyal to
Who's
this
coming
community.
after her? What's going on with that?
I mean, from what I understand, people are just attacking her on Twitter and, it's just, just throwing accusations at her, people with nothing better to do. And the fact is, if I'm being completely honest, I don't give a shit that a recording took place if it did. I don't care. I don't care. It's a personal thing between, I didn't see Aiden releasing anything. I saw Meredith releasing stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if Aiden in the heat of some personal shit with Karen decided to record her, I don't fucking care.
Right.
You can get mad at me about that all you want. You could judge my character on that all you want. And like, okay, good riddance.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
That's how I feel about it. And take that however you want it.
I just wanted for the record to all my followers know I heard the audio, the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Still haven't. I've
heard the audio. I've heard the whole thing. Karen sounded absolutely unhinged. I was super disappointed. It changed a lot of things for me. I'm never going to deny that I heard an audio. And that's it. Because I don't lie. And who the fuck knows how things end up coming out in the end. And you're right. Anything associated with Meredith, digital shit with Meredith, all of this stuff, you cannot trust anything at all. I saw a video last night. I haven't had a chance because I was up so late and then got up so late, but like somebody posted a video of me, a clip from me talking the other night on the Bunny After Dark show. And like, it didn't sound exactly as I said it. And like, I noticed like my lips were a little distorted and I was like, did somebody fuck with this video? And I was just like, of course somebody could fuck with the video. You know what I mean? I guess I have to like really.
Nothing that comes from Aiden's devices is reliable, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like she had full access to it, dude. If you see text messages in there, they're not reliable.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just the fact that this is even a question at this point, it might as well have had Proctor's hands on it. Period.
Crazy. Are you doing a stream today? Because I'm probably going to end this. What are you doing today?
I might do a stream today. I mean, you know how I do.
If I end here now, can I send everybody over to you?
You know what? I'm already set up.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let me get off
give me
with
about
you
5 minutes and I'll start one just to fuck
all right,
around,
I'm going to
whatever.
end this. I'm going to read some of these wonderful, generous super chats, and then I'll send everybody over to you.
Right on. Cool. Yeah. If anybody wants to still hang, I'm all set up. So
thanks for coming on.
Why not? Thanks for having me. No,
yeah,
this
might as
great.
well.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Later, guys.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. All right. That was fun. Who's in my
Don't even think about ending this,
Oh my God. Jeff is here and yelling, don't even think about ending the show. What is happening in the chat? What are you doing?
Justice for laundromats.
What do you mean justice?
Okay, everybody, you see the blood?
What happened? What's going on?
The sweat, the tears.
What is the big deal? I don't understand what is happening.
So, come on. What'd you say about me today?
I didn't say anything
They
about
all
you.
know I'm going to the laundromat. They all knew I was there. They want to go do laundry and hold fucking signs.
I told
Justice for laundromat.
Stop fucking breathing so heavy on me.
Oh, I ran up here because I heard you were going to stop the show, and I told them, well, I'm coming up
We
here.
cannot, first of all, stay long because Will's going to do a live in a few. So I
Will
want
can wait.
All I did was tell them that you were in a bad mood because the dryer wasn't
the
working.
Kids were sleeping while I had to go out in the cold and wash their clothes for them.
Do you need to speak your truth here? Do you need a truth
There's
journey?
truth. There is
Why
truth.
are you looming over me like
There's
this?
truth. There is blood.
What happened?
There is sweat.
What happened with your hand?
No tears.
That is actually gross. What happened?
Oh, because then I decided to do the dishes for you.
Did
And
you
look,
break a
nothing-
glass?
Nothing but
Where
pain.
did this happen?
I sliced it. I
Where?
put it in the sink
On what?
on a knife. A big,
Okay.
your favorite
Oh,
knife.
my favorite
went
one.
right into my knuckle.
Amateur hour.
Warm
I
hot
don't know
water.
what to tell
This
you.
thing went bone deep.
Okay, it
It's
does.
been bleeding for 2 hours.
Get it away from me. Stop.
Yeah, this is what it would look like if
No!
if Aiden hit Meredith.
Oh,
It would look like this.
stop it. Stop.
So what's the plan for? Tell everybody. Because they're gonna hold you to it.
What plan?
How you're gonna be nice to me.
Okay.
We got to move beds and shit too today.
No,
What's
we're
going
gonna
on here?
decorate.
What is Jeff? What are you doing to your husband today?
First of all, calm the fuck down. Number one, that's that. Number two, we can't last long. I have to read some super chats because
I'm
people
gonna read
don't.
along with you. I bet they're all pretty good right now. What's going on? Jeff needs to get bone deep. Yeah, he does. What else? What else we got? Jeff's D is on to Windows. What about? So, what are you telling everybody that I just fucking do everything? Do you tell them how everybody else does nothing? Let's go. Tell them how many chores these kids do around this house. Oh, 0. How acceptable is that to our fan base out there? Let's see what they're
What do you mean our fan base? It's not your fucking fan
Oh yeah,
base.
oh yeah.
I built this brick by brick.
Needed Jeff. Jeff is Mr. Mom. Jeff, you told us, laughing. Move the bed, Jeff. I don't see your name fucking popping up in any of this shit. Uh-oh. Yay, Jeff. Oh, look, it says somebody bury your wife in the backyard. I just saw that. No?
Get out.
Am I reading? I'm here for Jeff. Doesn't sound like anybody's here for you. They wanted to hear my truth. This is free speech.
Okay, stop. You're right here. Stop yelling at me.
Wow. Look at.
Stop
See?
yelling.
Karen Reed on the phone right here. Karen Reed on the phone right here. Look
Jeff
at it. Now you're seeing it.
Jeff
Now you're seeing it.
Machado. Stop it.
I
Stop.
need a Tennessee tornado. What is that?
Stop saying
Is
that.
some kind of
Listen, stop for a second, please.
preach?
Jeff,
So funny. Justice for Jeff.
I'm going to mute you. You need to
Jeff,
stop for
I
a
am
second.
such a
There's
good
no
man.
justice for Jeff. I got to
this is
read this.
great.
Oh,
Give your Venmo out, Jeff. Oh, by the way, you owe me $5. Somebody sent you $5 fucking dollars. That'll help pay for one load of laundry because it cost me 15.
okay. I'm not kidding. Stop.
Jeff's truth.
Stop for a minute. Stop.
Look at the anger.
Stop.
Look at the anger.
This is going off the rails.
Look at-
Stop.
They love it. You just got like 7,000 more viewers.
No. Okay. We're
Jeff
going to.
is Mrs. Doubtfire. We want Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff.
We have to read the super chats,
Yeah, let's
and
go.
those are people.
Let's read together. This is nice and comfortable. I used to do this in the army. Go ahead. All day up against. It's called resting and leaning against the wall.
You need help. You
I
need help.
a Band-Aid. Do we have any of those?
I can get you a Band-Aid.
Thanks, Nancy.
Are,
Love you.
are you leaving?
Oh, am I staying? Oh, okay. They can't really see me. Can't see my crotch right now. Probably getting a lot of.
We
views
have to
based off
read
that.
these things from people. And we post them on the screen to thank them.
Oh yeah, it says justice for Jeff, justice for the laundromat.
Quiet. Miss Lily sends $4.99 and she says, there's only one Ray from Dallas. We love Turtle Boy. We love Jess, Jimmy, Nurse Kim, the Glare, Rat House, period. I one being okay. I think we did that one already. I'm sorry. Let's do this one. When does Meredith stop? I think we talked about this. I apologize, but let's put it up there. I'm a little distracted. Okay. K-Boy Heather gives $9.99. She says, Turtle Boy, she will be at the courthouse first thing Monday morning making stuff up. Call your lawyers today. Also, Daystream might be better for your poor ex-wife. Thanks. Jess loves Saturday morning with you. Thanks, bestie. Thanks for being here. We have a new member. Thanks for joining. Hope you like it here.
Look, they're sending you money for Band-Aids.
Real Bill Bauer says, Real BB, I'm just going to say $4.99. It says, if anyone has the rights to this movie, we read this one. Thank you very much. I thought that was a
Skin
little.
folds back.
Get that off the screen. Do you think
What is Jeff's Venmo? That you should put that fucking out there. It's just mail me check.
he doesn't have a Venmo?
Yeah, I'm a loser.
RBB since 1999 and says Karen's ungratefulness is very hard to believe, but between the turtle telling us and literally now hearing the recording, I don't blame him at all. I think I'd keep some proof if I had it.
Somebody said Jeff on Steam brings the money.
Veronica 4465 since 699. Stop clawing at me. 699 and says at a minimum he should get the RO just to document the crazy for the next poor soul. If only he had listened to Tina and Courtney in the beginning, right? MJ 523 says 999. She says this is better than Saturday morning cartoons as a kid. I think he should try to get the RO, include the kids so the ex-wife is covered too.
Oh,
but
somebody
there's no
just
trust.
sent me $10. The fuck out of here. Cajun butterfly. Butterfly. Ooh, I like
There's
that.
no trust
Cajun.
in local government. That's the catch. I agree. Get it away from my fucking mouth. Ms. Holmes sends $5 and says, hello, Jeff Steve. Make sure Jess gives you this
I fucking told you.
$5 for having to go do the laundromat with no help at
that's
all
just
on a
one load.
Saturday. Free
That's
Jeff
just one
Steve.
load. Don't worry, I've been looking at new
You
drivers.
all created this, by the way.
Here for
Hurd
off the rails, Jeff.
from
That's another
$1.99.
$5. Oh, another $5.
Mermaid Mary RN sends $4.99. She says, quote, I did the laundry so you could have free speech, Jeff Machado. Quote for the ages.
They love it. They love it. They know. The truth shall set you
Deborah
free.
Jean V3K gives $9.99 and says, in his bed with blow on his face is concerning.
Blow?
Blow? What does that mean? Help me out.
Blow.
She was
blow.
calling his ex-wife live, for fuck's sake. I know.
That's brutal.
Tracy Cooley 123 gives $5 and she said, and Aiden doesn't trust the justice system, which is going to make it hard for him to do an RO against her. That's a great point. I wasn't thinking about that because I think we are working through real time. Like, what is his apprehension about that? Because why not, right? My God.
What?
RBB sends
Bull
another
in a Chinese shop.
$4.99 and says,
Oh.
No.
Monkeys, I want to rest my head on your boobs.
No, just give a hug and that's it. I think the moment she knew about Karen Reed recording, the whole dynamic of power severely changed. I agree. Thank you for becoming a new member, friend. eChamp2 sends $10 and says, last night, in my opinion, was necessary. Last night wasn't an attack on Meredith. It was simply Aiden defending himself, which he has every right to do. Carla gifted a membership to someone, so thank you for that, Carla. Melissa Hendricks says $9.99 and says,
shit,
at
$20 for laundry detergent.
The glare. Now that Meredith's status is threatened, how far do you feel she's capable of going to hurt TB? I do think we have to maybe take a day or two to think about what could happen. It's me, Andrea, 1017 cents, $4.99. She says, thank you both. This needs to be talked about more. Abuse is so deep and victims need to be more understood. Did you fucking talk about your ex-wife in this chat?
What?
Did you?
Nope. I just said maybe they should hear that story if they want to talk about crazy women.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Nicole K sends $100 and says, thank you. Sending
tone.
love from San Diego, our West Coast bestie. So generous. Thank you. We're not doing that.
Maybe calm the tone.
MKL sends $2 and says, please mention the chat should like and subscribe now. I always forget to do that, but liking and subscribing helps me. So thank you. If you can't donate in the chats to my husband or to the laundry GoFundMe that's happening.
Oh, wait, I do have a fucking Venmo.
You're not putting your fucking Venmo on my screen. Get out of here.
Shit.
Jesus Christ.
I ran up here so fast.
The best way that you can help is by liking and subscribing. That helps me.
Or sending
because
cash,
I'm monetized.
cash check. Jeff Machado. Make sure it says Jeff Machado. She knows my social and she uses it a lot. So
I do what I have to do.
Make sure it's just
One of my favorite accounts says, "This is for Jeff. You son of a bitch."
there's more. Oh wow! Just why?
It's one of my favorite accounts.
Yeah, I like pubic hair too. What's his name?
C8 the Great since 999 says for band-aids for Jeff, make sure you get him the cute ones.
Yeah, Hello Kitty. Duh.
I
Who the
died.
fuck is Jeff? This is Jess. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Do not swear at my besties. Don't do that. Ah, Jesus. Allie the Cat Track since 499 says, vet me. I'll help mod for you. You're doing amazing work, always splitting the truth and facts. I love your stance, and Jeff needs extra time for laundry. I will be adding mods. I know that people are saying not to do it, but I'm going to be adding mods. I want to be able to enjoy the show without the anxiety I feel about like wrong shit going on in the chat. So I am going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
I would never allow you.
Yeah, feed the bird seed. I'm going to dump it in the next pile of fucking laundry.
What is Jeff's Venmo?
I think it's just my name. Send that direct.
Read it out loud.
This is for Jeff to buy him some Hello Kitty Band-Aids. It says Superman, but I'm throwing.
They can see it.
I'm throwing in. Oh,
read it.
Here for Off the Rails, Jeff. That's 1. For Jeff, that's 2. Laundry detergent for Jeff, that's 3. I'm up to 30 fucking bucks. 32. I really do love your relationship with Jeff. What else? Let's keep going.
We got one more.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just saw my. Oh. I'm up to 37 bucks. How about you?
I don't know. Okay. That's everybody. Thank you very much.
My wife's gonna get it, people. It's okay.
I promised Will that I would send everybody over to him. He's probably waiting for this to end. I'm tired.
Thanks for your support, Will. Us dudes got to stick together.
Here we go. Listen, at one point I was like, how much time can people spend online? Right. And then I found myself listening to Jimmy yesterday morning. And then I made sure my night was free so I could watch the YouTube presentation that Aiden did last night. Then as tired as I was, I made a commitment to getting on here, and we had to have this show together today. I was very unexpected to have Aiden join. So thank you for that. That's the first time Aiden has ever been on my show. I've never had Aiden on. Will joining today was also unexpected. So who's going to tell Jeff YouTube takes 30%?
Open a laundry. That'd be awesome.
I owned a laundromat once.
Yeah, but mine would be more fun.
Why?
Because it's me. We're not there.
So I just want to say thank you to the guys for jumping on, which has been great. And I appreciate that very much. I also appreciate everybody watching in real time as I work through what the show looks like, because this is supposed to be a little bit more structured and less drama, but unfortunately the environment dictates what we do here. And so it needed to be done. And I feel like it was actually a really good show, and we could work through and talk through things together.
That's right, Nicola Maxwell. We're going to take fucking St. Patrick. Look at this.
I love Nicola. She's great.
Here comes all the Portuguese Day support. They understand.
Read this one out loud.
You're
on the screen. Read it out loud.
It's okay. Your money is American, so it's all good. Thanks, Coco.
For Bestie Jess's coffee and bagels. Thank you. All right. So you will not see me again until Monday morning when we do 24 and 24. And then we're going to do the Bunny After Dark on Wednesday. No political show on Monday. We're still not ready for it. Not ready. We're just going to do our Monday 24 and 24. It's coming up after a long. How was your vacations?
Sucked.
Why?
Because it's too much work.
When?
Every day.
No, there was barely any work.
Every day.
Okay. So tomorrow's a Sunday reset. Take the day off tomorrow from Sunday. I think Nurse Kim does like her morning Sunday service. Get that and then get off the internet, get off your phone, reconnect, touch grass.
People need Jesus first, then watch the podcast. Okay.
Go
Jesus.
to church first or talk to God first, then go to Nurse Kim and then get off the internet and
Put
stay
God
off.
first, everything will work out.
Thank you. Besties, thanks. Head over to Will. If you've got nothing else to do and you're just sitting at home and nothing going on, go to Will. He's going to stream. He's waiting for you. And I
United
appreciate all of
Confederation
you
of Jeffs.
very much.
Fucking awesome.
And we'll talk soon. See you Monday. Bye, besties. Oh my God.